Don't believe in aliens, they're never going to land. Don't believe in cryptids that leave footprints in the sand. Don't believe in spirits appearing from the dead. The only demons out there are living in your head. Dream crusher, the Lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the brilliant from a dedicated skeptic. We all know what that means. He's lurking in the shadows and crushing on your dreams. Dream crusher, the Lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the brilliant from a dedicated skeptic. We all know what that means.
Dun, 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 dun. I love that music.
Rock it, baby.
Woo, I know, I was rocking it. I was playing air drums again. I was like, oh, one of these days, I'm going to be able to actually play them. Probably not.
No, you're not.
No, no.
Do it.
We know. Oh, I can hear you back there. Shh. You're not introduced yet. And she's like, oh, I see you. I can see you. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Friday night.
Woohoo!
I'm just here for the booze, which is in my cup named Zach. That's my Zach cup. That's when you drink from the skulls of your enemies, right there. All right, let's say hi to some people because we got a bunch of people in the house. I love it. Chris Like, what's up? Kit Ford is in the house. Oh my goodness, Cat's Meow. We got who else? We got. I'm going down the list here. Susan Edwards Stender. That's a long. That's like a band name. Edward Stender. Cree Storm's in the house. Hey. We're gonna have some questions tonight. Cree Storm's in the house. Michael Burkeen is in the house. Julie R. Chris Williams. Shauna. Hey Shauna, I did get your books that you sent me. Your weird religious woo stuff.
Awesome.
I have to go through it and read them. Thank you for that. William Wheeland is in the house. Daniel Reed, what's up, my fellow SI author? Cat Mac is in the house. It's date night, Cat Mac. Woohoo! Mike O Minerals. I like that. That's almost like a cereal. Like Minerals. Because it's got fortified with 9 of your daily vitamins and minerals. What else we got? We got, did I say Shauna? Shauna. I think I said that.
Yeah.
Diane's in the house. We got Donna's in the house. We got Bob. Oh, damn it. Bob's in the house.
Bob said he's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, right. Devon Zipper is in the house. Diana Foder is in the house twice because she's in the chat room and she's sitting over there again. We got, let's see, I think horrors. I got to be careful saying that because that could be bad if I slip, Freudian slip. Did I get everybody?
No.
Enigma Investigations. Ooh. Oh, dang, it's Kenny. I know. I scare myself too when I look in the mirror. I'm like, oh shit, there's that Dawson Toller. Who the hell let him in? He's a nice guy. I like him. Dawson, your gift will be on. It should be there in a couple of days. I sent it out. It went out yesterday, so give it to probably like Monday next week or something. It'll be there. So is that it? Did I get it?
John Michael.
John Michael's in the house.
Tim
right.
Binga.
Macy Rose. We got so many people, and there's more. Glenda Watt. There's oh my goodness. There's somebody. I guess my guess is more popular than she thought, because all these people are coming in saying hi. Because we're gonna learn about some video stuff tonight. All right, we got to go over the rules. We definitely got to go over the rules. I got to find the rules, and then we will get on them. Boom. Oh, I screwed it up. We're gonna do it again. Ready? We got to go over the rules. Boom. Here we go. All right. So rule number 1 is that you are welcome to ask questions. That's what this show is about. It's a learning show, and we learn together. We try to educate the public and ourselves at the same time. It's funky. Rule number 2 is that I don't know everything. It's just the way it is. I mean, I try to. I really try. I try every day to learn something new, but it's never enough. But I do enjoy it. And this rule also applies to guests. When they come in, they don't know everything. They know some things, and they know a lot about some things, but not everything. So keep that in mind. Rule number three is that we follow the Patrick Swayze rule here, and that is be nice. You can be in the chat room and you can have discussions and debates. You can disagree. That's cool. That's cool. But just do not devolve into name calling. Do not start calling people's names or starting shit, because if you start shit, Donna kicks you out.
Yeah.
Forever.
Forever.
And you will never return, because it's a deep, dark pit of despair that you're in, because you will never be allowed on the Skeptical Hall Bar again.
Yeah.
And that makes people cry everywhere around the world. Rule number 4 is that if you have questions, which we're going to have tonight, if you have questions, please do us a favor, put a capital Q in front of it. And that way Donna can save it for the second hour of the show. And I was reminded to remind everyone that questions are at the second hour. When we have a guest, questions come at the second hour. So be patient. If your question is not asked until like an hour and 10 minutes from now, it's because it's the second hour. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. I think I summed that up pretty good. Rule number 5 is my favorite. Drink up. Cheers to everyone. All right, with that out of the way, we're going to switch gears here. We're going to switch on not my regular frame, but my special guest frame. And we're going to bring on our special guest. Here we go. Here we go. Hey. You got to unmute yourself. It's okay. Oh no.
Oh, I did it.
It worked. We were having some technical difficulties throughout the beginning before the show.
No, it's just me. That's okay. I'm the technical difficulty / video editor.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Everything's
right.
fine. We've figured it out, and now you're here. So
Hi.
for those that don't know, a little intro just from me. I mean, it's real quick, like 10 seconds. But basically, like, if you don't know who Julia is, on Tuesday nights, I do a TikTok live at 7 p.m. Eastern time, most times. But Julia she asked a while ago if she could be my moderator, and she has been my moderator for a while now, and it works out perfectly because we have a lot of fun, and she keeps the show running. But we did meet earlier than that, but I'm going to let you tell that story. So my first question to you, because you are a new guest, brand spanking new. What is your origin story? Tell us how Julia, the video editor nerd, got to be a video editor nerd.
It's a long when a mommy and a daddy and iterations that love each other very much.
We don't have to go back that far.
We're not going that far. We won't go that far.
We can fast forward a little bit.
No, we all know that stuff.
Save that for the after party.
Another time.
That's for paid subscribers.
I didn't even know that. What happened? Oh my gosh.
We don't have that.
No, that's not this kind of thing.
Okay, it's not that kind of show.
I guess, well, let's start with where I met you. So I started taking classes at the Rhine Education Center about a year or two ago. And there was a course on skeptical approaches to paranormal investigation or something like that. Something like that. And Kenny was one of the instructors. He was obviously the like super heavy skeptic brain, and we had a good mix with another instructor, Lloyd Auerbach, and he offered the sort of like parapsychological side. And together they kind of melded my mushy, somewhat baby investigator brain into what it is now, which is a 50-50 clusterfuck of really high-end skeptical knowledge.
I
And
didn't drop the first F-bomb.
oh, is that a thing? Did I just do?
Usually if I drop it too early, like I get a
Yeah.
look from the side, like, what are you doing?
Sorry, Donna.
No, that's
No,
okay.
it's all right though.
All right,
Good.
cool.
You did it. Breaks the ice. Let's fucking
Yeah.
go.
I don't
Yeah.
mind. I mean, hey, let's just dive there. So yeah, I met Kenny and I was like, how do I get involved in the community? Do I reach out to people? And Kenny's always super accessible. So I just approached him, seeing him with his TikTok channel. And that's where I guess the TikTok version of Julia the editor was born.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, that's me. That's how that goes. Yeah, unless do you want to know more about my art or just that?
like,
That sounds good.
So we know now that you are into the paranormal.
Yes.
And investigation wise,
Yeah.
and obviously some parapsychology kind of stuff, because
right.
you were from you were signed up
There's
for
a balance.
the Rhine Institute.
Got it. Yeah.
So the other side, which is what I mean, not that that's not interesting, but why I was interested in talking to you on the show is
Mhm.
because we did have a TikTok where we were talking about video.
That's right. Yep.
And I had questions, and I kind of like peer pressured you into coming on.
You kind of did.
I
Like
did.
on the spot there.
And I was like, God.
Thanks, Kenny.
And you jumped on, and we started having conversation until the TikTok demons decided to mimic our voices. And so it was really weird. We were having a great conversation.
Yeah.
And
super
I
fun.
was learning about stuff. Like, we're going to talk about a little bit like green screen and green suits and stuff.
Yep.
And I was learning about how to light it up. And all of a sudden, like, I don't know which one of us first, but one of our voices started repeating.
I think it was you. And I was like thinking that it had something to do with my setup on my end. And we were all like, what's going on? Why am I hearing myself? Why did that happen 3 seconds ago? And it filled the entire I guess like room with with digital nonsense. Like I don't know
what
what
you're
that
hearing
is.
us now was exactly. It wasn't just an echo. It was exactly like this, just repeated like
And loud.
5 seconds later.
Loud.
And yeah, we couldn't
Yeah.
continue because it was so annoying.
That's right.
But then I was like, well, you got to come on the regular show, the Friday night,
Yeah.
and we got to continue this because we have a much better track record here about not having technical problems like that.
Yeah.
So with that, like, you are a video editor.
I am.
This
I
is
am
what you do?
This is my superpower. I'm a professional storyteller. You can weave that as you will, but essentially, I really love telling people stories. I love putting things together to complement a client's like overall visions, or just being told to run along in traffic with something that I just create. I guess I've worked for Coming to the Bay. I'm a Canadian, so you might hear an accent. That's okay.
Do you get annoyed when, as soon as you say that, like an American will go, Canadian, eh?
No, I lean into the stereotypes.
Oh, okay. All right,
I think it's fine. Like, I think Americans have some really like pronounced ones as well. So we're kind of all even. Every culture has their own
like what?
accents.
What's the most prominent American weird thing
besides the politics? I would say
that's just a world.
I know that's I'm not going there. I would say you are masters of junk food. There is the most creative junk food in this country that I've ever seen.
That is
like, isn't that so true? Like you could have something really simple, like just an Oreo, but no, you got to make it Pepsi flavored and sell out like Safeways everywhere.
That's what we do.
Is that like that is insane?
We deep fry anything.
We totally do. I feel like England has the brown food group, which is like deep fried yumminess, Mars bars, just like comfort gravy, yum yums, and then America's got sugar. So
we have sugar.
You got sugar. You got some of the best junk food I've ever had. So thank you.
Oh, you're, I guess
from the bottom of my heart.
It's I
cool.
love it, and it shows.
Yeah.
I don't. That's why I am not a. I don't appreciate it, but I love it. It's so good and yummy.
What's your favorite junk food? Like, what are you reaching for right now these days? Are you a savory guy? Are you a sweet guy? Like,
No, I'm
what
literally
do you
right
like?
in front of me. The pretzel bites with the peanut butter inside.
Those are crazy good.
Yeah.
Love
Oh my goodness, those are so effing good. They're
Love
crazy good.
I love it.
Deadly.
What I do like, and this is actually funny because it's in Canada. When we go across the bridge, because we have the Rainbow Bridge here that
Rainbow.
goes right across.
That's
in
right.
Falls,
I drive it.
side. There is a place that does the beaver tails, right?
Yeah.
Aww.
Fried dough with cinnamon, and they put Nutella and bananas. And,
They'll
oh
put
my
anything
God.
you want on it.
Anything.
I love
Bananas, strawberry, skills.
Yum.
I love it all. No, that stuff's killer, especially like on a cold ski. You know, you're going down the ski jump or your ski hill, and then you got your beaver tail guy at the bottom. That's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
there you go.
After I ski down a hill and crash
Yeah.
into all the people
That's
waiting.
it. Yeah.
Then I'm like, beaver tail guy, beaver tail guy.
Yeah, guy.
Bring one.
Beaver tail. Like you're like Ricola, but yelling beaver tail. Say, pass it, chuck it. Chuck
Hey,
it. That's Derek. That's my
Derek.
partner, paranormal investigator.
yes.
Bye. I wanted to show you these because we just got back from the motherland for our turkey eating holiday, and it was Canadian Thanksgiving last weekend. So we brought back the
Ruffles.
Canadian all dressed chips.
Oh.
What is
You know
that
about
other word? How do you say that?
assaisonné? I'm gonna get reamed for that, I guess. Kat, how do we say this?
Cat Mac. We need
Yeah.
your
Kat,
assistance.
how do we say this? I think it's
Sound it out phonetically.
assaisonné. Is that right?
That
It's
sounded
gotta
pretty
be
good.
French.
That's
I think it's not bad. Yeah, but
Pretty
it's all
I
the
don't know
chip
what that
flavors
means.
on one chip. It means
All I
all
see is
dressed.
ass. That's all I see, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to try it. It's starting with that. I don't know.
And in there, labels are in French and English. Yeah, so that's I guess the French interpretation of all
Okay.
dressed. Yeah, so that's me.
All right. So what were we supposed to talk about tonight? I don't know. I got distracted by junk food. This is great. All right. Video editing.
Mhm.
So you are a video editor. I saw some of your stuff. I
Oh,
was
shoot.
digging, I was stalking and digging around a little bit. And saw some of your stuff that you did for like, let me see,
Which one?
Goblin Forest.
Goblin Forest.
Goblin Forest. Did you do stuff for a forest,
So I did.
like
Oh.
a wildlife preserve kind of thing?
Yeah. So before the big tech layoffs that I'm sure a lot of people are reading about for the last like year here in the Bay Area. So I now live in San Francisco. I was working for a really great nature conservancy called Wild Aid, and we partnered with the country of Gabon in
Okay.
Gabon.
I was
It's a
saying
French. No, it's fine. I was like, goblins? What?
Goblin.
I did a
My Philly accent.
goblin video.
That's how I say
Whoa.
shit. I destroy it first, and then I have people correct me.
No, it's fine. We got there.
We're good.
Yeah, no, I did a that was for the Gabon Forest Ministry.
Okay.
Gabon has like one of Africa's largest like green spaces. They've got the best CO2 conversion rate. They're this insanely beautiful, rich rainforest and ecosystem. So I did a documentary for the Forest Ministry, and it was aired on television and in presentations. And that was just some of the outreach that we kind of worked with the partners of that company. They're still going. They're an amazing organization. If you guys want to look them up.
So what do you
lovely.
specialize in then?
Well, right now I specialize in, I love documentary storytelling. I love taking real things and telling it in a very authentic way. Right now I'm working with an AI platform that is taking nonprofit storytelling videos, and we are creating them at scale. We take them from pre-production through production and post-production. And we're kind of serving an underserved population with social media marketing and support. It'll be one of the first, I guess, like cost-effective marketing platforms for nonprofits specifically. So we're going to do some real good around the world.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
So
Yeah.
specifically, what do you do? Like
Oh,
you mentioned post-production. Like
Right.
what does that mean? Like I've heard that all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, post-production. They'll do it. They'll fix it in post.
Fix it
I
in
hear-
post.
I hear that all the time.
We'll
What does that mean?
Photoshop it.
Yeah, we'll Photoshop it, even though
We'll
it's
Photoshop it. That's not what happens. No.
no.
No. So we've got like three main phases of production. There's pre-production and development, maybe that's two, production, and then post-production. And what post-production is after production and pre-production are finished, they give us all their stuff and we assemble it into
Something cohesive.
something, yes. Into some kind of cohesive story that, does some kind of stuff for the world in some way.
Right.
So video editors are assemblers, problem solvers, and storytellers. We literally take building blocks, put them on a timeline like Tetris pieces, and the whole way kind of visualize it from, A to Z.
Okay.
We also are able in some capacity. I am not a VFX like major specialist, and I'm not a motion graphic designer, but we do, I guess, meld with the world of VFX when we need to do lower thirds, when we need to do green screen, when we need to do masking and solve general problems for some of the videos that we,
Okay.
can't fix in production.
So let's get into this then. Masking.
Do it.
You mentioned
Masking.
that.
Mhm.
I know what it is. I know what it is. I've used it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that I feel are curious about it. They're not sure what it is. I know a lot of the people that are watching have heard it because several of the YouTubers that I associate with, like Beardo Get Scared and Side Eye Guy, and several others, they've brought it up.
Right.
And they call out ghost hunters for masking things in order to hide stuff. So what is it? Can you explain what it? Tell me what it is.
Masking. So everything we're going to discuss tonight is just a basic way to control the image or the video image that we're after to get a certain result. So let's keep that in mind throughout the whole chit chat, because the nuances can be extremely technical and we don't have all that time to go into. So there's masking and matting. There's masking and mats.
Ooh, okay.
Not to be confused with Mac, Cat Mac.
Date night.
I guess we could. Masks are, when we're talking about video, they're a type of selection outline that's done on the video to, I guess, isolate what we're looking to focus on for that one piece. So for example, and it's done like on the same layer, and it opens up a ton of creative possibilities for us. So let's take Kenny. Everyone look at Kenny. Where's Kenny? We're all backwards here. Okay, look at Kenny. So pretend I'm in your mind's eye. Pretend you're clicking around Kenny, his shoulders, his head. You're getting his outline, and what you want to. I know.
Too close. Too close.
Okay, pretend you're giving Kenny a tattoo.
Oh.
Oh,
Don't do that. Don't do that. Basically, what we're doing now is when Kenny's all outlined, and for people who use Photoshop or maybe parts of Canva, you see these types of outlines, and you can do this with your pen tool on Photoshop. But we're basically isolating Kenny's shape, and we're using him as a shape to omit or add whatever we want into or out of it. You can invert it, or you can keep it as intended, which is to outline him. From that, let's say we're getting the background out of here. So we've just outlined Kenny, and we've decided to omit the background. We can do that. Now that Kenny is isolated and selected and protected in that little mask, bubble, we can tell the software to get rid of the background. So we can do that. And then we can put, I know, right? And then we can put Kenny anywhere we want.
Anywhere.
It's
Well,
absolutely
that could be
everywhere.
That could be bad. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's masking. You're
Masking.
kind of putting a fence around what you want to
That's right.
keep
Yep.
or not want to keep. Is it both?
Exactly. It
Okay.
is both ways. There's an inversion capability, which allows us to omit you. So only the background is remaining.
Okay.
And we can do, we have a whole other range of creative possibilities to work with from that.
So what benefit, I guess, would there be if someone wants to make a ghost video?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what if somebody wants to be a smug puppy kind of guy? Hint, hint. Anyone that's on TikTok.
Portal. Yeah.
Oh my God, there's a portal.
Oh no, there's a portal.
There's another portal.
Oh shoot, look at those. They're everywhere. It's not just a cool video. It's not
The
just
teddy
a cool
bear is
video
stuck in
game.
the ceiling. What are we gonna do?
Yeah. It was also, I think, pointed out by Derek that the portals were the wrong colors. He really likes the video game, so he's like, they should be blue, not purple.
My problem. So for those that don't know, Smug
Whatever.
Puppy is a channel on a TikTok. I don't know if they're on
He's
YouTube,
good.
but
They are, I think. Yeah,
He's-
they are on YouTube. Yep.
pretty good.
Pretty good.
But it's obvious that it's, well, at least earlier videos, it was obvious he was faking it. Now he's doing pretty good, but there's still. Peter showed us one day. Oh, cool.
Did you see that?
One showed us that. Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, like he does these videos where things pop in and out and portals, and I had to laugh because some of the portals, like we recreated one of the videos where the teddy bear gets stuck in the ceiling. So like there's a portal flash and the teddy bear's like only half of it is sticking out of the ceiling, and it looks pretty good. And then later on in the video, you know, there's another flash and it pops out. So we recreated that, but I thought it was funny because the portal flash was obviously like a camera flash to me. And it was like, oh, all right, well, I know how he's doing it. And I see how it's like he was holding it like to the ceiling because it flashes out in the oval.
Yeah, and you can see the whole thing at the top. Yeah, right. You can see a ceiling. That's right.
So if you want to make a video like that where you're something appears or disappears, how is masking useful?
So masking, off the top of my head, if we're looking at something like a portal, so let's use the environment we're in. If I want to make, oh God, this is that.
I know it's backwards.
It's like I kind of just point at my door.
Right.
If we would like to create a different look for this door, what I could do is create a mask, because that's a very sure, very solid shape. To create a mask, the thing with masks is you need to be able to shoot it correctly. Everything that we do for post-production is done. I think the heaviest lift, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. The better we produce it during production, the better it's filmed, or the more effectively and planned the filming can be. The easier time we have in post, sometimes, not all the time. So keeping that in mind, if we film it as we're intending to film it, there is a locked off camera here. So you have this whole background without it being touched. And then you can start playing with whatever you want. So we would cut out the door frame there. We would make it transparent in that mask or in that mat. Mats are used on top of adjustment layers for any Premiere Pro users, or even some Final Cut. So we would cut that out. We could change the shape. We could change the color. We could superimpose, or as you say, overlay some like swirly graphics to create like a look of
like a vortex
crazy,
kind of thing.
Yeah, we could do that. And then we blink, something would happen and something would appear on the floor. Okay. I'll tell you why that's important. So when we see things from I guess Smug Puppy, when they bring things down, he's really good. He's always using a mix of camera tricks as well as some of the VFX that are available to him in whatever software he's using. Okay. The other way to do it is green screen, and green screen would allow a person to pass through it, because you're essentially telling your software to put the image on the omitted green. Okay. And then that would mean a person could actually like pass through the fabric. You can't really do that with a mask or a mat. You'd have to like
if you have a green, if I had a green screen up here and it was well lit and you couldn't see the seam, I could potentially put a mat on top of it so it looked like the rest of the room.
Well, on green screen, you could you could take your own background and put it on the room.
Okay,
I guess. Okay, let's keep it really simple. Let's say I have like a mat that's like halfway drawn here. Okay. And I want like an arm to show up out of that mat to like reach out and grab my face while I'm speaking to you. Okay, so that's like all ghosts do, right? So let's do that. It's basically like cutting with a pair of scissors down the end. First layer would be the drawing of the mat, omitting everything on this side. on your editing software, it'd be like a big black hole here.
Okay.
And then you would take the same image here, put it over top, and a person could stand right here and shove their arm out at me. And it would come out of that.
You wouldn't see them.
You
but
wouldn't see them.
Popping
You'd see the arms. You got it. So matting and masking are ways of taking really isolated areas and blocking them out from the viewer's view to do whichever trick you would like to do. Yeah.
So
you can use that in a lot of ways.
With that, with what you explained and having, like, say the door's cut out, the doorway is cut out there, and something happens, we get a swirly thingamajig and then like a little who's gonna watch it and all kinds of other things. And then, so we're watching this, something appears after it's done. What kind of things would we look for? Because if I see like, a portal open up in your doorway, I'm going to sit here and go, all right, it's kind of cool, but I'm not buying it. Like, what am I going to look for to see if I can spot?
Yeah. Excellent question. No, these are great questions. I think can you hear me okay? I had to pop in another earphone. So the first thing I would look for are the seams. And this kind of practice, you kind of have to go frame by frame or watch things over again. Right. A lot of what people like to do is redirect the eye when we're looking at making like entertainment videos. So they're going to try to do things to distract your eye from what's happening. Always look at the point of action. Try to see if there's any differences. Sometimes people don't lock off their cameras very well, especially and you'll see like a weird jump in the seam. It's very subtle. Right. So you'll see a little or a little, and it just stays like that for the rest of the action, Masks are hard. Sometimes people don't blur them well enough. You want to feather or blur the edge to have it sort of mesh really well with the next image that you're kind of working with. And you'll see this like hard delineated line. They're a little bit hard to spot, but if you're just like a millimeter off with your camera, you're going to see a tiny little shift.
So I use that. So like there was another guy on TikTok.
Here. Sorry, I'm all red.
That I used to go back and forth with. Oh my goodness, you need a fan.
California, San Francisco is going through some weird heat wave weather right now. And my windows are closed and we're not built for this anymore. And my Canadian cold is seeped out of me. Now.
Open the windows.
I'm going to have it's
all right. Don't worry. Make yourself.
I'm going to have a nice breezy mane of hair.
That's okay. It'll look like cinematic because then you may like, whoosh.
I'm in a music video now.
Be comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice. Oh, look at
so yeah, there was a guy named Leighton that I used to go back and forth with. So
right.
Manchester 666 or whatever his name was. And there was one particular video where he had a balloon. He's sitting on the couch and he puts a balloon out like this and then lets go and it floats. It stays in place. It kind of moves around a little bit.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, the first thing that popped up was there's a fan. There's a fan somewhere. For two reasons. One, because the movement of the balloon, I was like, that looks like when I've done like a little trick, like keeping a balloon up. And the second thing was I could hear it. I turned the volume up. I'm like, there's a fan on.
Yeah, you can hear we
don't see it. So I did exactly what you said. I looked close and I put it in the software and went frame by frame, zoomed in, and I could see like a shifting.
Right.
So like there was two pieces and they were going
like
that.
That's it.
And it was just amazing because it was on the wall. I was like, all right, this is a mask. He's masking this out. Okay. So I got it.
That's one of the things I feel like a lot of times, first of all, if Leighton's watching or anybody that knows Leighton, that person needs to go to a film school and actually do that no, he's pretty good. I'm going to say that's a lot of us should have a, VFX or a thing.
I'm going to take half credit for that.
You really pushed him.
For a time, it was every day.
Yeah.
We would post a video in the morning, and by that night, I had the debunking video up, showing how it was likely done.
Yep.
So it forced him, to come up with more better ways to figure it out.
So he went to like the film school of Kenny.
Oh,
to finish
man.
school. The other thing too that always gets me is that the sort of like old school mechanical sort of VFX, or sort of the things that
Practical
we
stuff.
all kind of reach for. Yeah, that like old stuff, like a fishing line. Like even I could sit there and have like a 2 hour long discussion about fishing wire, black line,
Mhm.
threads. Like how many people do we see online that are pulling something like okay, I've got chapstick here. Um, let's just preface this as we don't know what ghosts do
Okay.
or what
All
their
right.
choices are. Every time I see something like this and there's a mechanical movement, and by mechanical, I'm meaning a wire or some kind of string, something that you're mechanically operating to create movement, there's
Right.
always a point of tension where that item shifts. So
I,
you made me think something would move like this, but instead it's always going like, you know,
yes.
like
Yeah.
Yes.
that's one of the gravity. Like, where's your gravity? Like, what?
I
Think about this, guys. Come on.
There was
Mm.
years ago I did a self-published book, and it was mostly like going into photos and
Yeah.
a little bit of video, but
Yeah.
debunking a lot of stuff and then giving
Mhm.
explanations. And in part of it, there's a section called the point of pull, and it's exactly on that, because
You
when
got it.
when you have, say, let's use Zach here.
Yeah.
If Zach is sitting here on a table
Hi, Zach.
and you have a line tied to this,
Yeah.
but you're pulling this way, it's going to go like this first and then start going.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that so many. I actually, the first time I came up with it was I was watching the video from the Warrens, Ed Warren
Oh my gosh.
in the
Yes.
kitchen. Did you see that
I've
video?
never, but
Oh
they
my
were
goodness!
they're notorious.
I will send you a video. I did a whole breakdown of it
Great. Yeah. I'd love to see
recently.
it.
But
Mhm.
basically, it was a kitchen table, and a bunch of chairs. Only 3 of the chairs moved, but ironically, they all moved towards him as he was holding the camera. And every movement, there was like 4 or 5 separate times that they moved, but they all moved towards him. And you watched as the chairs twisted because
Yeah.
it was being pulled, and then they would twist a little bit back until they zeroed out
Right.
to the point where they were being pulled, where the force was
I
applied.
mean, they could have just really been into him and really just they were really wanting to be
Right.
with Mr. Warren. You know, like they could just be.
Mhm.
They
I
just
don't
wanted to be
get
really
it.
good
I don't get why people like him.
friends. They wanted to be buddies.
He's an asshole. Ugh. Oh my goodness.
I'm saying nothing, but I'm saying nothing, but these mechanical styles of editing are always things that I think we reach for first. The alternatives get technical. There's a lot of learning, so we all have to start somewhere if we're gonna,
Right.
you know,
Right.
BS some stuff. So
And I think
that's kind of a good starting place. Builds the
practical
passion.
effects. I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the passion. I think the practical effects are there's definitely a difference. Like you mentioned, thread, fishing line,
Yep.
magician's
Magnets.
thread, which is magnets. I've used magnets.
Ooh, wait, I thought of something. Magnets and masking. So you know how we're looking. I'm sorry to interrupt. Oh my gosh.
No. This is great. I
Total.
love this kind of talk.
Going down that rabbit hole. So let's say we have a table and we've got an object on top that has a magnet, and we're moving it under the table with a magnet. Masking would be a really good way to omit the person under the table, moving the magnet.
Yeah.
You take a static shot of your desk.
Right.
I'm looking at my desk, and you put that. You would cut it right at the top of the desk, and impose then you'd throw that other image on top on your timeline.
Right.
You'd have a transparency, and there goes that person. Like they're not there.
Yeah.
Stuff's moving.
On.
PK activity.
And that's the thing, the stationary camera, the static camera.
Yeah.
It's much easier to do something like this.
Yeah.
With a static camera, because everything
Totally.
nothing moves except for what you want to move.
Yeah.
And I've used that so many times where doing the masking, just masking out a place, hiding someone, because it's real easy. The only difficulty is making sure the lighting's the same.
There are so many factors. I'd almost point out too that if we notice that paranormal this is a question I've always had, but paranormal videos happen on IR sensors at night when there's no light change, Or it happens indoors where there's also controllable light. Being able to control the light's a big deal if you're going to mask, because even a few minutes different, the sun is in a different position.
Right.
So if you're trying to, move a shot on shot, it's great to have it all the same. You can also do it with a still image on top of the video. They have to be done at the same time, and they have to be captured at the same time, and that all has to work out. This section, if I was to do any masking in this room, it would be a nightmare right now because the natural light is changing. We're coming into sunset.
Right.
Don't do your masking if you're doing video masking. Don't do it at sunset or sunrise.
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to get away with it very well.
Well, there was I do remember our initial conversation about this. We were talking about lighting and controlled lighting, and you brought up a very good detail about our slug puppy guy, about the windows.
The windows. Oh my
you
gosh.
Brought up a very good detail about that I didn't notice before.
Was this about the curtain color? Can you refresh me a bit?
All the windows were covered.
Light control.
He was controlling the light inside the room.
Light control is a big one. Light control from wild light or ambient light, kind of what we call ambient light. Windows are really hard. So controlling light, heavy curtains, that's a big deal. Yeah, that could be a dead giveaway.
One of the tricks that I use, it's a simple trick, is when you suspect a video is manipulated, like this. If you think that there's a mask or something going on like that, you take it frame by frame, and not like YouTube frame by frame, but load it into software and go frame by frame, and go between the frame right before and the frame that it happens, and look at the lighting.
All of it.
Yeah. That's when I find the most difference. You can find like, oh, there's something that changed just in that frame.
Yeah.
And it's completely different, or there's a reflection or something that comes up. So if you don't control all of the lighting, and that's my problem, because I try to do a lot of filming out in the lobby here.
Right.
And we have big ass skylights right above where I'm filming, and I'm like, I gotta wait till nighttime.
Yeah, you do.
To do anything, because that's the only time I have constant lighting.
It's a big deal. Lighting is it's the alpha and the omega of video production and filmmaking. We creating mood. We control it to create mood. We control it to achieve certain effects in post. I can't even talk about how important light is for anything on video. One of the other funny things too is how light is interpreted with digital sensors. So we've got these things in our pockets at all times, right? These phone things. And then there's also like the handheld digital cameras that we use for video or still photography purpose that might have like 4K, 8K, 12K capabilities. All of these things have different sensors. And one of the things that really irks me, it's almost like I'm cheering sometimes for like the ghost-ertainment videos because I really want them to do a good job. It's like, come on, just like do really well. Just like, go, you're trying so hard. Like, go. And a few of them do really well. But when we are filming with different cameras, let's say there's one camera, you need to have double angles. Some people really like that coverage. And we're filming with different cameras, we're getting different sensors, which produces different color values. If you're not using the same, I feel like, Kenny, we're telling people how to
first, real quick, thank you, Irene. I appreciate I don't know what that is.
It's from Norway.
25 Norway? That's awesome.
Hi, from Norway. Oh my goodness.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Norway.
Appreciate that. But I understand. And I know exactly where you're coming from, and I can relate, and I struggle with it because every single freaking video that I do is telling people how it's done and what to avoid. So the way I justify it is that we are educating everyone, not just the people that want to fake stuff. We're educating the people that don't want to fake it and don't want to be fooled. So now they're taking what you're telling them. I'm pointing at like your face.
You're pointing at me. I'm like,
putting what you are telling them, and they're going to save it, and they're going to look at the next video and go, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Julia mentioned this, and I think I know how this is done now. and
Yeah.
they're going to walk away not just blindly believing that. They're going to walk away knowing, all right, this is probably fake. I'm not going to buy into this, which is good. That's
It's
what I'm
really
happy.
good. It's
So,
really helpful. The biggest dead giveaway to me is always when we have to look at the totality of the channel. What is its reason for being? And if an entire channel is just there to capture, I guess, like this type of paranormal evidence, I don't know. I read a lot about parapsychology, a lot of stuff from parapsychologists, scientists that are studying things in laboratory settings, and this type of repeatability isn't the norm. Not to say that ghosts don't, love the camera and want to show off really bad, but this isn't the demonstrated norm that I'm seeing right now as I'm reading the stuff that I'm studying and looking at. So also, doesn't the CSI have like or maybe it's not, aren't there like awards out there for proof?
Yeah. Well, we have a $500,000 challenge.
Oh, shoot.
For anyone that can prove that they have superpowers. So you can apply, you can sign up and explain what you can do.
Yeah.
And that includes like talking to ghosts. If you really think you can do it, you can sign up and they will design a test around the interview with you. So it's a long process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight.
No, this is cool.
And I say that because too many people are like, they come back at me a week later and are like, I haven't heard from them. What's going on? And I'm like, first of all, it's not my test. You applied to somewhere else. It's not me.
Yeah.
Me. Second, it's a long process. But yeah, I mean, once they get through all the interviews and protocols and they set up the test and then decide where to meet, then you go do it. So
that sounds crazy.
We had one like 2 months back. A dowser came here.
Okay.
And he claimed that he could find any object. Didn't even have to know what it was, but he could find it. And we told him what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, and he's unfortunately he failed every try, but it was still fun. It was still, hey, I enjoyed it.
And I mean, it probably brings a certain amount of fulfillment and goodness to his life. So I don't really see that much of a setback if he's still enjoying that hobby and that discipline that he feels he's honing into. It's not provable. So that's that's a thing.
As long as it's a hobby and for fun, it doesn't really do much.
No.
What bothers me is the people that charge a lot of money because they're finding water for you. Or they say that they can communicate with people or spirits from it. That's when I have a problem with it.
No, I have a problem with that too. We've got the Winchester house here. It's one of the biggest examples of that I've ever seen. It's also one of the most beautiful houses if you've ever been there. I call it my house because it's every time I'm there, I'm like, oh my God, I'm home. This is my Victorian. Victorian dream.
I love Victorian too.
It was just featured in our last issue.
I read that.
Not this one, but the issue before of SI. Right. Adrian Hill did an excellent research article on it. One of these days I'll get out there. We want to get out there.
Yeah.
Come out. Well, I mean, I'm here. I'll show you. I could show you around.
That's awesome.
Do some video stuff too.
Come out. We can goof off together.
I need to learn because. So what do we got? We got 10 minutes before break.
We got 10 minutes. Oh my goodness.
We had a conversation about green screen and green suit, specifically green suit using chroma key suits, because a friend of mine, Melanie Teresa King, came out months ago, and I have a chroma key suit, which I will not let anyone see me wear. Holy shit. You see everything.
Derek had one. He has one too. Yeah, no.
So I told her about it and she was like, oh, let me wear it and we'll do some filming. And I was like, all right, we'll try. But understand, I have no idea how to do this. I'm going to be learning as we go. Terrible. Turned out terrible. Nothing. The best shot I got was at one point on a stage, because we have a lecture hall over here.
Right.
We were on stage. She walked behind me, and the lighting was perfect to where her entire body was able to disappear, and just her head was floating. And it looked really cool, but like her head's like right here. So it wasn't like she was out on stage or whatever. And then we had a conversation. I learned a little bit more. And then she was recently here like a week after I think we talked.
Okay.
And then we set up, I had the 3-point lighting, which I think I would love you to describe. We set it up, I have some video. I don't know if it's good or not. I don't think I have the software because I still had shadows. So
yeah.
I don't know if I can do it.
What did you see exactly? Was it you were seeing shadows or you were seeing glare? What were you experiencing?
I was seeing shadows. So she was wearing the suit and we had setups where like she was letting down, like, but we had lighting to light up the back wall,
right.
take away shadows there. The shadows were on her. That's the problem.
That's the problem. So suits are notoriously challenging to light over, let's say, a backdrop. Suits also are heavily dependent on the fabric. If you had like a shiny spandex versus like a matte kind of scuba outfit, that can really make a big difference.
Okay.
I mean, when I see people doing suits, it's normally on a dedicated sound stage. It's its own discipline. You have a team of people who are there, and some of the largest lights you've ever seen. It's like they just flood it with light.
Okay.
And light, omits shadow, so that's how they work that. Also, sometimes too, depending on the software, there are plugins, there are bits of program softwares, apps, whatever, that are dedicated specifically for keying. What you were seeing are things called low spots and hot spots, shadows and hot spots.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're kind of the bane of the existence of the green screen world.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. So you really rely on your programs to help mitigate that. And just, kind of grit your grin and bear it. Like, please, no shadows. It's hard. That stuff's hard. Light is your best friend with green screen. That knowing your software really well. Those are the two. Yeah, it's a discipline by itself. Directors of photography are great at it.
That's it. I have to learn because I've never just sat down and said, all right, today I'm gonna start going through it and play with it. I mean, that's how I learned with everything else. All the video tricks that I did, Yeah,
how do you think I became a video editor? I've been doing this since I was 17. And I remember the very first videos I ever edited was me shooting the shit and just being a stupid, dumb young teenager and making like jackass videos of the And I think the very first video I ever shot was like in grade 5, and I did a Super Dave Osborne thing where I threw a dummy of myself out a window and then got hit by a car. And then I got under the car and I was like, oh, I'm fine, I'm good, great. Like, it was that kind of, I don't know. So those effects and how we achieve all that, highly technical, very skilled. Kenny, you're doing a great job just mucking around with it. That's how a lot of us learn it.
Thank you. Yeah.
You just have like a natural passion for it and you just pursue it. So
I think what happens is like I get pissed off at a TikToker.
That's motivation. That's motivation.
That's it. I mean, like,
no, I know.
She knows. Like, sometimes I'm like, I'm not coming home. I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
And I'll be here, or if I go home, I'll sit on the couch for all of like 10 minutes and be like, no,
I gotta try
fuck this. I'm gonna figure this the fuck out. We're gonna do this.
Donna, do you ever just get like a Nerf ball and chuck it at him? Using that like focus stage and just or like a Nerf gun? Like, do you ever just do that?
We do have.
Oh shoot! Oh,
we do. We are armed here.
Oh, you don't mess around. That's
no.
Guys, I'm saying.
But that's motivation and learning how to do it and trying to figure out ways. And that's how you like, all right, I've done 50 ways that didn't work.
That's right.
I eventually get closer and I'm like, all right.
That's it. Every little bit. And like, even with us too, keying and green screening, those techniques were things I learned in film school, just mucking around with the software. None of that are things that you formally, I guess you do kind of learn about the three stage light setup and like what you can do for green screen basics, but just go out and play with it. It's a lot of fun. Hey, it's all fun. Even video editing is just mucking around and having a good time.
It is fun.
I don't know why I do this for a living.
Oh, I mean, I've
Well,
seen.
because you have a passion for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you obviously like it.
Stories are
And
the best, guys. They're my favorite thing.
like, what? I know you have personal projects.
Yes.
I've seen personal projects. Like, what kind of stuff do you like to create with this video? Besides,
video,
like you falling out of a window under a car and stuff like that.
That's right. I really love video and I love editing in clever ways. I love taking the natural environment of an edit, and I love messing with that natural environment. So I've done pieces where I've played with like mirror images. So I'll take images from nature or time lapse, and I'll invert them, and I'll create scenes to see what our natural world could look like if it's mirrored 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 ways.
Okay.
I really enjoy, right now, I got this guy here, this theremin. I'm starting to move into sound and soundscapes to try to understand how audio, I guess, like production works. Audio is a huge component of post-production and or video editing.
Yeah.
So to learn that muscle, I have a tool here to help me just have some fun and learn. Like the projects that I love working on just on their own, they're mostly small documentary projects. I don't know. I have a video right now that I'm about to kind of throw up on my website about a guy blowing bubbles outside of a bar that we were at one night. He has these giant bubbles. San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the bubble people?
Yes.
They're just, it's joy.
People.
Bubbles, because they're in every city.
Bubbles.
And they're amazing. Yeah, the whole story. I was like, why are you blowing bubbles? And he's like, there's this whole story about his life, how this gave him joy. He was an addict. He was on the street. Bubbles saved his life. It was like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I love stories like that. I love telling little snippet vignettes of stories from people's lives. So that's about to go up. If Derek's watching this, that's about to go up because he was with me being like, what are you filming? What are you doing?
Before we go to break,
Yeah.
the theremin, we've talked about that before. We've talked about it because we've had a conversation about that in relation to how the REM pod, which somebody in the comments said, a great big REM pod. And it was interesting, I think, because we were on a call like this,
Yes.
and experimenting to see what would have you continued those? What did we learn?
So
do you remember?
No, I totally remember it.
Okay.
There's been a few things that we really wanted to get sort of under our belt before we moved into that form of investigation, because it is something that Derek and I are both super interested in diving into, more concrete ways of producing data, information. We won't know if it's paranormal. We'll just know we're getting a reaction. So I'm looking at it that way. And once Derek finishes, I think, his intro and some other stuff at the Rhine, I think that's coming to either one of the hotels down in the San Francisco Wharf area that Lloyd Auerbach recommended, or it's coming with us to the Hornet, and we'll see what we can figure out. Yeah. You raised some really great points about checking the environment for static insects, anything that could kind of interfere with the antenna. So we have the protocol kind of written down in my notebook here. We'll be taking that with us to try to kind of like set it up in such a way that it won't be interfered with, and we know there's nothing in the room. Right. I think one of the hardest parts about all of this, when you just want to experiment, I'm not sure if any of these ghost channels really give us insight or not, but they don't really, the reactions don't happen on command. Repeatability is a really big deal in scientific exploration. And they don't always, I don't know. The phenomenon doesn't always want to.
And it's argued. I've had this argument.
Hard to experiment. We don't know what it is.
Where repeatability, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the conversation word for word, but basically, like, I brought up the fact that, like, a lot of these things are not controlled. They're not a controlled experiment, and do need repeatability. We need to be able to reproduce this under the same conditions. The argument is like, well, a ghost is you can't control it, so you can't have it on command. And I was like, yeah, that's our uncontrolled variable. in the experiment.
Yeah.
So when it does seem to happen when you want it to, how do you know it's a ghost?
But that's the thing. What we see with any kind of instrumentation, even the REM pods, we'll say, for example, is we are spotting a reaction. What we're not understanding is why, where it might be coming from, and is it something outside of our realm of understanding of physics, or is it really something we can explain? We're observing a reaction, and how we take it apart from there is up to us.
Right.
Derek's a scientist by trade. So we're gonna do our best to try to be really pragmatic about it and see what comes out. It might just be an idea of saying, this is plausible, this is less plausible. And with more exposure and time, you sort of narrow that down to, okay, this is explainable, unexplainable. And then science goes further and we have some kind of conclusion from that.
So wasn't there a point where you mentioned, and I don't remember which way this went, but you had left it on?
That was an experiment we were going to do, and that's what you raised. You raised some great ideas about insects. So the idea was to leave this on. This is 100 and, God, my math sucks. I'm also dyslexic, which is why I went into video editing. Which blows my mind why I started reading all this crap. Yeah, so keeping it in this really old place that could be haunted, seeing what happens, and then figuring out, working backwards from the results that we receive in order to sort of paint a better picture of what could be happening. We've got landlords here that can tell us where wiring is. We've got a lot of info on the history of the place, if that bears any weight to the story that we're telling with this experiment that we'd like to do. Right. So I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know.
Awesome. Yeah. Good. Yeah. All right. Let's go to break. Because we do have a bunch of questions in the queue, which is great. I hope you're ready, because I have no idea what people ask. Really good questions.
Guys,
some are out there, and I think it's the most fun. I enjoy this part the most, because you never know what we're going to get. But for now, we are going to go on our pee break, because everybody needs that, and it's 4 minutes and 9 seconds. So everyone, we will see you back here in 4 minutes and 9 seconds from now.
And now for something completely different.
Welcome, my fellow skeptics. Welcome, one and all. I am the chief investigator. Oh, come along, old chap. We will have a ball. Now, if you will excuse me, it's time to open the mic. Good night. Good night. Kenny Biddle's the name, investigating's my game, and I will have at it. Quid pro quo. As the head of this committee, hunting for ghosts can be shitty, but there is nothing better that I know. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Let's open the bar and have some questions, alright. Maybe you might find an answer or two. I will find the truth this night and day. And if my name is not Kenny Biddle, then I assure you here I will not stay. Good day. Kenny Biddle's the name, ghost hunting's the game. I won't let anything get in my way. Too many fakers out there, too many chefs, too many toe tappers, none of it makes any sense. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Let's open the bar and ask some questions, alright. Maybe you might find an answer or two. Who knows? There may be ghosts in the machine, but trust me, I am not so keen. I prefer to see these things clearly. If you don't think I am right, let's open mic night. Yeah. If you have an answer to that Kenny Biddle solve it for you. That Kenny Biddle solve it for you. The one and only Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle.
What's going on there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Oh, my
Derek.
goodness. Oh, Derek.
How you
Hi.
doing? What's
Hey.
up? It was just funny. I'm so-
Legs.
Just there, like,
I-
what's up?
Sorry, I'm new to this. Bye, babe.
That's funny.
There's just like a torso with legs. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey now.
Hey. Hey, babe. Sorry,
my
everyone.
goodness.
Well, that's Derek.
That's
That's my
alright.
partner, Derek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
He's in the other room listening, being like, "You're doing okay. You're
No,
doing
that's
okay.
Oh,
good.
that's
See,
nice.
I told you.
You're
It's all
doing
good.
okay."
Everybody,
It is.
everybody watching, show her some love because she was nervous about coming on here. I don't know why. I'm nervous.
I don't know. I don't. I've never done this. I've never done this. I
But you've
don't know.
done Zoom calls, right?
Yeah, Zoom calls clients. That's all good. But hanging out with Kenny Biddle and all his guests.
Oh
it's a-
my God. We're
It's a
just
different.
two people at a pub having a conversation, talking about videos and ghosts and shit. So
Yeah,
It's
videos
all
and ghosts and shit. There was
All right.
something. Yeah, go
Yeah.
on. There was one thing I wanted to bring up. I don't
Sure.
know if this the last thing. We need to have distance when we're doing green screen. So if you ever see a video where people are very strangely lit, you need to have large rooms for good green screen. If we're working in bedrooms, you're gonna see some stuff. So
I'm sure you are.
okay, yeah, I walked right into that one. All right, Gretzko and I are gonna have another
Have
sippy sip.
another drink. There you go. Cheers.
Cheers. Wait,
Other
cheers.
side. Bing.
Cheers.
There we go.
Cheers. Cat heads, if anyone knows who this character is right here.
Oh,
Oh yeah, somebody already put it out there.
Oh, good. Yay.
that's awesome. All right.
Autumn sword.
So, second hour. Second hour is viewer questions. Time to start putting up some questions and see how you do. It's for both of us, so don't worry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
because I do know that there's a mix, so there might be some video editing questions. There might
That's
be
cool.
some paranormal questions. So,
Right
let's
on.
get it as it comes. Let's go.
Sounds
Let's
good.
go. Brr. All right, Bob from Damn It Bob. So there was a doctor in the house at CFI this week. Yes, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson was in the house. He stopped by. He had a show. He did a talk nearby. I forget the music hall. It was like a music hall that apparently everyone that graduates high school graduates here. That's what I found out.
In Buffalo?
In Buffalo. Everybody, that graduates in Buffalo. That's where the graduating class goes. But we did reach out to him beforehand, and it was a kind of thing where we weren't allowed to tell anyone. Because he came over here he had about 2 hours in his schedule that was open, so he was nice enough to come over. Yes, thank you, Tim. That place. I'm not going to say it. Kleinhams? Kleinhams. Yeah.
Fine hands.
But he came over here, he had lunch, and we chatted. And I'm going to brag, I did sit next to him during lunch. We got to talk. But I mean, we have a small cafe area. So there was only like maybe 12 people. And we were just listening to him, having a discussion. We were going back and forth, and he was talking more. And I wanted to get into a debate with him, because I was like, he said some things. We were talking about approaches, and I try to find common ground with someone if
Mhm.
we're like butting heads. Try to find some kind of common ground that we can work back from. And at first he disagreed, and I was like, "Oh, it's on, bitch. You lost your celebrity status. Now we're gonna talk." Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You lost
Sorry,
it.
I'm back. No,
Okay.
I'm back. I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Keep talking. I'll make it work.
All right. And then yeah, so he started talking, but before I got a chance to bring my reasoning to the conversation, he was like, "Well, you know what? Maybe it is common ground that I'm talking about." I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, you saved yourself. I'll let you slide." And he laughed because I was like, "Yeah, I'll let you slide this time, but next time it's on, bitch." He was really cool. He's a really cool guy like that. So
Mhm.
so yeah, there you go. Thanks,
awesome.
Bob. Thanks, Bob. That was fun. Ian, is there an address where we can send some soft furnishings to Julia?
Oh dear. Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah, the answer is no to that, but I don't know what to say to that. No.
Okay. All right. Moving on. I told you, I never know what people are going to
It's fine. It's fine. It's
I
fine.
never know. Damn it, Bob's up again. What happens in post first? The video editing or sound effects editing? And how much do those two aspects work together to get to the final product? That's great.
Oh, Bob.
See, that's why I have a sign.
Damn it, Bob. Now, Bob asked that's a crazy good question, Bob. There's several stages of an edit. The traditional edit kind of, at least for me, works where there's an assembly where we begin to sort of put the story together, the major points, I guess, like in writing, we would call them beats. Those sort of like measured moments of structure. From there, we would sort of work a bit backwards. You look to refine story structure. If there's a sound artist or a sound engineer, you sit down with them, and that's when they start crafting their work. If they're crafting their work there, I'm further refining my edit as per notes from the director or the producer, whoever is telling me what to do. And at the end, we sort of come together. We see where parts of where their sound mix and treatment versus my visuals can come together. It's like a collaborative refining process.
Okay.
If I'm working on a documentary type thing and I'm the sole editor, music is like the biggest thing, and it's something that I spend hours diving into. Music is emotion, it's connection, right? So when you're watching Star Wars, imagine like instead of that like epic music starting, it was like
Speaking my language.
I know I am. That's
Speaking
right. Right? There you go. I don't have one of those. I'm a Star Trek person. It's okay. So
Just
if
lost
we didn't, it's okay. I've lost everybody. Like
I'm kidding.
no one likes TNG except me. But yeah, those music swells. I do a combo, rough edit, and then I typically dive into music to start to inform emotional impact.
Nice.
But I'm a structure junkie, so I'll start with structure first.
Okay, cool. Good
Sorry for
call.
the ramble.
I like that.
You're
that's
asking.
good.
Nerd is in my title, so I'll just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like rambling. I mean, it's good. The more you ramble, the less I have to. So that's awesome.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Here's
All
a
right.
follow-up to that one.
Follow up. Timothy Binga. That's our librarian here at CFI.
Oh, hi, Timothy.
From what you are saying, the camera is not as important as the editing. Do certain cameras make the editing easier for the ghost hunters? Oh.
Okay. So those are two huge questions. Camera, I don't know. I guess with camera, you're always planning for the edit. So let's regard the camera as production and pre-production. What you do with the camera, you're doing because you'll add an effect or you'll edit it in such a way in post. So the camera, yeah, I guess it's somewhat important if you're going to do some work with green screen. A newer camera is going to have a better sensor. It's going to give you more latitude in isolating that green color. So that's kind of a plus for your video editor. I'd say they're tandem. You have one to facilitate parts of the other, but the shittier your camera, the harder it is to edit well and to integrate scenes from masking and to do the effects. And what was the other question? Do certain cameras make the editing easier for ghost hunters? Maybe shitty cameras make the editing better for
Yeah.
ghost hunters, because you can kind of hide a lot of stuff in that that weird matrix buzz that you get when
The
it's
lower the quality, the better it is to hide.
the more you make your sensor freak out, the easier it is for
Yeah.
you to pass stuff off as being plausible.
I have the main problem, I think, the
an
most
opinion.
common problem I have is that when I shoot some of the video,
Mhm.
I'm usually using a higher end camera. So the video quality is great and you can see everything.
That's it.
And then
Oh
when
my
you
gosh.
put it side by side
Yeah.
with the ghost video, it's usually a crappy, shitty camera. So I usually try to go to the lowest resolution that my
Mhm.
camera will shoot.
Mhm.
Or, I mean, for me, like I have a huge camera collection and I have VHS cameras. So I can use them if I need to. But as long as I lower the resolution and
That's
shoot,
it.
then yeah, things disappear. So
That's
thread, like normal thread or fishing line, that's really good. Like I use various types of fishing line.
Yeah. What's your preferred thread count?
So
What's your preferred thread?
thread count.
There's a preferred thread,
I don't use the
It went
plastic.
over his head. Phew.
right?
I know what thread count is. Let me see. So I don't use the regular like fishing line. That's kind of like a plastic fishing line. What I
Right.
use is the threaded. So it's threaded fishing line. And I'm trying to find it. Oh, there it is. You're gonna love this. So here's my Leighton line. Because I renamed it in honor of Leighton. So-
Dude, that's so good. You should merch that.
I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna try.
Well, I can't see it. That's the
it's
good
thread.
stuff.
It looks like just thread.
Mhm. But it's
so
gray.
nice and dark.
It's like a
Um,
greenish
So
black.
as long as I hold it up here, it's gone.
Yeah.
As
Ooh.
opposed to this stuff, which is shiny.
Shiny.
Don't
shiny.
like shiny.
I
So
like
use
fish.
that.
So it works for fish. If it's too shiny, they're either freaked out by it or yeah.
And I also
I like fishing.
I use I've shown this a bunch of times, but this is magician's thread.
Oh, that's invisible. Are you kidding?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, you
Whoa.
can see it on my thumb.
The
there.
imprint on your thumb.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. But now it's gone.
I've never seen that. That's amazing.
But magician's thread, I mean, it's beautiful for light applications, and I can make toys roll across the floor. I can lift things, like light things up. I use this to move a K2 meter, and not only move it across the seat, but then lift it up so it stood up. And it was just
good.
enough.
So good. There's such movie magic everywhere, and it's just from messing around, having a good time.
Around. Yeah, just play and see what happens.
That's right.
I mean, I have a lot of magician friends, so they're
Yeah.
like, use this.
Yeah.
Trust me. And I'm like, all right.
It also doesn't help too that like the whole paranormal field was like marred with a butt ton of fraud back in the day. All the
Yeah.
mediums, all that. Like yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't know. Whatever. It's a whole thing. It kind of sucks, but
all right, moving on.
moving on.
Moving on.
Okay,
Here we go.
so there was another follow.
There was another follow-up. I like that.
Kind of
Oh my gosh.
staying with the same.
See, it's interesting.
Thanks for the questions, guys. This is awesome. Oh my goodness.
Michael Burkeen, is less editing better, or does it depend on the quality of the video?
I would say that it depends on the outcome you want. Better is subjective. And quality of video, you'll just work with it anyhow, in my thought. And I've worked with every kind of video there or quality there is. It's desired outcome. If what you have filmed requires less editing to achieve what you're after, that's amazing. You've lessened the amount of effort you have to put into something.
Right.
Right?
Is that like equal better planning?
What, the editing portion
The
or
less
the
editing maybe because of better planning and getting.
It could be.
I don't know.
That's one of the factors that
Yeah,
lessens
getting
editing. Sometimes it just works out better than you anticipate. The way that you filmed, like you said, if you've planned good lighting or whatever you need to achieve that shot, yeah, that can also I guess factor into it. One of the things too, when you get something into your computer and onto your platform that you're working with, sometimes you're problem solving because the software won't react the way that you were hoping it would. That's just
I have
part
that
of
problem
life.
all the time.
I mean, that's part of life. That's a
I'm like, what are you
whole
doing?
thing.
Do what I want you to do, not what I'm telling you to do.
That's it. Why won't it just do the thing?
Know what I want.
Damn it! Read my brain. Or don't. That's
Yeah,
creepy. No,
I
that's
can do that.
creepy. Yeah. No. If edit software reads your brain, just turn it off. It knows too much. It knows too much. Unless it can do your taxes, and then
Yeah, right.
yeah. No, yeah. It's a chicken or the egg thing. If you get what you want out of it, that's great. If you don't,
Right.
keep working at it or send it to an editor.
Oh, there you go. I know one. I know.
I
an
hear that you know one.
I can recommend one.
Mhm.
There you go. All
Here
right.
we are.
All right, Bob. How long does the video
Ooh.
editing process last? I assume months, depending on how long the video is.
Yeah, that's it. It's dependent on how long you have to work on it. What's your deadline? If it's
Yeah.
tomorrow, it lasts 24 hours because you're not sleeping. I guess so the videos, if we're looking at Slipper Puppy, his videos, I'm guessing, take a day or two. There's a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of detail work. In the more VFX that you have, the more detail work has to go into it. If he's a really quick editor, it can take him 6 hours. If he really wants to obsess over every little thing, it can sometimes take a lot longer.
Right.
The docu piece that Kenny was mentioning took about 30 hours of nonstop, no sleep.
Wow.
So that was like, I finished the initial cut in about 8 to 16 hours. And then I was constantly awake for the next workday, fielding notes and other feedback from Gabon, which happened to be awake at the time that I was still awake at 5, 6 a.m. Yeah.
I do find like you're right with the trial and error. It's
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to recreate something.
Yeah.
You don't know how it's done.
Oh
So,
my goodness. Yes.
I mean, that could be like an entire day or 2 or 3.
It can be. Yeah.
Or I get something that's usable, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right, this is kind of close. Do I want to? And at least in my situation, it's like, all right, it's close, but
Yep.
am I satisfied with that? No.
That's it.
No.
And that's one of the hardest parts too, is like your own standards sometimes get in the way. And I guess in a creative process, there's always more than one way to do everything. There's like 100 ways to do one story. So if you've got clients that are extremely involved in your process, it's probably going to take a little longer than what you anticipated, which is totally fine. It's part of the method, I guess we'll say. I don't know how to quantify that because, like, I don't know if we're talking about film or docu pieces or what I do, but I hope that answers.
I guess,
some of that.
you know, touch on a little of everything. I mean, that's it. I mean, when I edit like the longer videos that I do, Forced By, it's filming. Well, I always say, I'm just going to sit down and I'm just going to talk, but I can talk like this when it's live. I can talk for hours and hours.
Yes.
Not a problem. But as soon as I sit down, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to film this 10-second spot. It takes me an hour because I'm constantly going,
hour?
Okay.
No, it can't. Oh, it
not
can't.
longer than that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it can take a long time.
Okay.
How long does he take, Donna?
Oh, it depends. He's over here for hours.
Sometimes I'm here and I'm like, hey, all right, we're going to talk about something. Oh, fuck. And then I'll get up and take a walk, and I'm like, oh, why can I not just say one line? One line.
That's it.
I don't have a script. I have an outline. So
that's it.
I know I can talk about the stuff. It's just how much do I want to talk?
I know. Oh, it's such a process.
Yeah.
I love it though. Once we get past that initial, like, I was just saying in my head, like, just get it done, get it down, get
Right.
it.
Get it
So
out.
just get it out. It's like a
That's
bad fart. Get it out.
the
And
filming is the hard part. But as soon as you get it in there and you're like, all right, filming is done. Now I can add stuff. I can
Yeah.
tweak it. I can add effects. That's fun. I love that because that makes
That
it
is fun.
entertaining.
That is fun. I think I'll add to that, dependent on how they filmed it. Post kind of gets like pushed with all the problem solving sometimes at the end too.
We'll fix it in post.
So fix it in post is a phrase for a
Right.
reason. But we all blame each other. It's like this ugly blame game where we're all just like
Yeah.
kind of bitch slapping each other for the whole time. It's a happy production. It's great.
Oh, man. That's good.
It's so good. Okay.
All right, moving on. John Michael, what's up, John? Without an H.
Hi, John.
How can a layman learn more about how to spot edits in a picture or video? And are you aware of free or accessible forensic software to help spot the edits? I'm aware of Forensically. Forensically?
I'm not aware of Forensically. That's cool though that there is such a thing. So a layman, I think one of the best ways that anyone can learn about what do you call it? How to edit or how to
Spot
issues is learn how to edit. Learn how to take an edit on and what the steps are that you need to take in order to fuck up. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's true. So one of the big things I brought this up last time with green screening, Kenny, was that purple haze that people get around themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
So way back when we were talking about this, when you're creating a correction for green screen, you're looking at the opposite end of the color spectrum to inform how to correct that color. Anyone who wears makeup knows that color correction for redness, like what I'm getting now because I'm hot here, would be to put a green color on top of it and then my foundation. It's the same thing goes for green screen. So when you're eyeballing someone's work and you see a slight purple haze, because you work with that program, you know they're overcompensating for the fix.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? So when you begin to work with things, you see the process and then you can sort of take steps back to see how they screwed up that process or didn't do it as well. Recognition. Yeah. It's like, did they do that well? Did they not do that well? Could they have done that better?
Right.
You know that because you worked with the software and that project
Right.
or that process.
When you learn the effects, you learn the techniques, and then as you become more familiar, you spot them in everyone's work.
That's it.
We just had a while back. We had a staff retreat here, and they had they hired a photographer to come out and take pictures of everyone, so we could have headshots and group shots. And I opened up the pictures when they were done, and I was like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" They were horrible.
Yeah.
The guy had a wrinkled backdrop, and you could tell because the backdrop was in focus. He focused on the backdrop instead of the people. So every single one of us was blurry.
Yikes. Oh, that's
And then
no fun.
I noticed that he tried to compensate it by when the person was in focus and you could see the background, he tried to blur out the background. And he did. I don't know if he just tried to draw a mask around the people, but you could see the lines around where he traced it. And it was just terrible. And I reached out to management and I said, don't get a refund because this was
hard.
Not professional at all. And it was the only time all of us get together only once every 2 years. So this was like a missed opportunity. But anyway, so I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I mean, like, I don't know what John means by forensic software, but like some of the software that's, I guess, less, trying to look at my list here. There's OBS Studio. Oh, CapCut is probably, CapCut's really strong. They do a really good job. I know it's TikTok, but it's some of the best free software that I've used in recent months. I would say look at that. And then Filmora, if they have a free software.
Right.
So take a look at their free stuff. Yeah, Filmora and CapCut. And if OBS is still hawking their free stuff, you can try OBS. But yeah, those are
I
two
think you
things.
definitely nailed it, though. I think it's
Hope
the
so.
experience. The
Yeah,
experience is what's really important because you need to be able to see them, and
that's
I
it.
think the more you're familiar with it, the
Yep,
easier it is to spot.
100%.
Yeah.
Totally agree. There we are.
Boom, baby.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. I don't know what
Right.
I'm doing. I nailed it.
Cut the check. Go home.
I'm done. Drinks on me.
Yay! Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Wait, this way.
Oh,
Okay. Cheers.
we'll get it one of these times. All right. Yeah, look at you.
I'm like, ah,
Give me more.
wine.
Michael, the only thing I see that is different than the 90s is technology. Is the technology.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
100%. I think human creativity is human creativity. We're not all Da Vinci. We're not all, masters at what we do. But yeah, the technology is gone. We've gone from this moment where you would have to hire professionals like myself or my friends to come handle some of the work for your corporate retreat video or your documentary or your parents' 90th birthday videos.
Right.
Now everything's in your pocket. And not only that, but all of the effects are in your pocket. It's unreal. The tech has caught up with us in such a way that everybody has equal access in some respect to the tools that make it possible for me to do my job. You just got to take some time. If you have a bit of money to part and put into it, go do it. If you don't, there's also free software. You can do that in a bunch of YouTube videos. That also works. Yeah, it's insane. The tech has gone, it's bananas, and I'm so excited about it.
When you look back,
Crazy excited about it.
some of the collection that I have, I mean, I go back to like the 8mm and Super 8. When you have these reels, and in order to edit, I mean, you literally had to cut the film. And I have splitters, I have cutters, where you cut it and taped it together.
Yeah, I did that for years.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and to look at it and go from that to then you had the VHS tapes,
Yeah.
where cameras were bulky, but you could have it at home.
You could. Yeah,
yeah,
it was like this.
you could have it at home. I mean, you had it on your shoulder, and it did more effects. You could zoom in and out, and it was great. You didn't have to turn, and it switched out the lens completely because that's what you did on the 8mm. But
cool.
Now, and then from that to you got the smaller cassettes, the Super 8 and the high definition tapes. But then you went to digital, and now you went from these cameras that literally, like some of the cameras that I have, the 8mm ones, I could beat the crap out of everyone like down a block, and it wouldn't have a scratch on it.
That's like the very first camera. It's amazing.
I have the first 8mm camera that incorporated sound. So I have it's great. Can you hand me the square one right on the end on top here?
No.
No, down that one. Yeah, it's heavy. Ugh. So this is the first one that incorporates sound, and I'm sorry, right next to it.
What's the mag capacity on that? What's the Super 8? What's the 8mm or the Super 8 capacity?
A microphone stuck in
Here I
there.
am nerding out about this again.
Here's your microphone.
Oh my goodness.
That went into it, but there's your viewfinger.
Oh my God, that's old. That is amazing.
Little tiny thing here, but this thing is like a brick. I would be comfortable if someone broke into my house grabbing this instead of a baseball bat, and then just one hit, done. And
then the officer comes in and asks you, "So what was your method of self-defense, sir?"
Yeah, right.
I just camera.
Just this.
Picked up my camera.
Brick.
It was great, but yeah,
that is unreal. Look at that.
I'll send you pictures.
No, it reminds me of the old Bell and Howells that they used to use in World War II that you'd crank and you had like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Those blow, like that looks a lot like that.
I mean,
A
that's
lot
exactly
like
what
that.
this does.
That's amazing. I love
Actually,
those.
this
I
is
learned
really
on those.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you pictures because it's really cool. It's really
I
clean.
would love it. I would absolutely love it. We've come a really long way, and I think that's a really valid question. Like trends have changed, right? Like, for
Yeah.
example, music videos are like there's a resurgence because they were nothing for a while, and now we're seeing like this huge resurgence in music videos and performance related video. Trends in video come and go. Tech will only get better. I don't know what tech's going to look like when I'm my parents' age. I'm kind of excited and horrified, but it's going to come.
It's amazing.
The circle of life. I don't
It
know how to
is.
say it.
And just the fact that like you can shoot video
Yeah,
and within a minute it is on
there.
your computer
Done.
and you are editing and you can do whatever you want
That's
to it.
right.
So amazing.
100%. I love it. It keeps me funded.
Yeah.
It keeps me in line.
Yeah. All right. I know we have a bunch of questions. We gotta start.
Oh, go. Okay, rapid fire.
Donna's
I'll
gonna
stop.
start yelling at me soon.
Here's
Sorry, Donna.
no, it's okay.
All right. Julia, do you think AI will change Hollywood as it exists today?
So I don't work in Hollywood film, but I'm going to say it already has. I think anything that we are starting to see, some of the biggest advancements in technology is in the way that AI solves for the mundane tasks that we handle in post-production. Things like metadata entry into DAMs, data access management systems, or how we run our archiving. A big part, I'm kind of a librarian. A big part of my nerd is that I love to keep everything organized. So there's got to be all this information that has to go into places in order for that to happen. So AI solving for that. It's filling in our blanks with tedious tasks like, let's say I want a certain amount of particles in let's say I want hair to come out in a video or something that I'm doing with VFX. AI is already, or like some kind of like advanced technology is in there that's helping to I guess work that out. I know what I'm working right now, we're looking at story models and AI. Can artificial intelligence, as it reads stories from all over the internet, grade a human created story? We're starting to look at these. I think a whole bunch of places are doing that. We're looking at ways of creating images for B-roll. B-roll is one of the biggest headaches in my field, and I can type in stuff and B-roll, just kind of, it doesn't magically exist. There's still a bunch of work that has to happen with that. But
it's something like it's in the background.
It's in the background working. It's assisting us. That's how I've experienced it. Motion picture film, we're gonna have to dive into that more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That's good. All right.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. All right. It's taking over. We're gonna have overlords soon. Cree Storm. It seems that videos are fake and audio is fake, and feeling something is fake. How do you explain that over 3/4 of Americans say that they've had paranormal experience? How can everyone be wrong?
I'm gonna argue and say that out of all the Americans and the people in the world, we're seeing a really small subset of individuals that are creating videos that aren't supporting those experiences. I mean, video, audio, and feeling something, all of those things to me are very real. It's how we assemble them. It's the ethics behind that can create fakeness. And I've had experiences. Kenny and I differ in our approaches to things and how we see the world. I've had a couple experiences in my life that are just, quite frankly, unexplainable. They're mine and they're beautiful and highly personal. And I don't think people are wrong. I will always believe somebody when they say that they've experienced something profound and important to them.
So
that's just how I take it. Kenny will be different. Kenny might be different, but that's how I take it.
It's
until
okay.
I dive into it.
It's okay.
It's okay. I mean,
No,
we have
it's
different
part of
approaches.
it.
That's what makes life interesting.
I get it.
That we can have conversations like this.
This is important. These conversations are important.
Yeah. And that we have conversations like this, and that we can have it in a civil manner and enjoy it and learn. What I will
100%.
add to this is that I'm not comfortable with the way this question begins. Because it's making an assumption just by reading this, it's making an assumption that all videos are fake, all audio is fake. That's not what we're saying. There's a lot of examples that we've covered with like this Smug Puppy channel, Leighton's channel.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of fakeness going on there. And it's, I think you touched on it. It's like the intention. They're intentionally faking
100%.
that their intent is to deceive the public to make money. That's what they're doing. There's a lot of videos out there that are not fake. They are presented in a certain way.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're presented before being fully investigated. I think people get excited about something and they have an impression that something may be paranormal and they post it because that's the way our world works with social media. People don't get things reviewed or analyzed. They instead determine it themselves and then put it on social media to show everyone. And that's not how a scientific inquiry works. Deliberately faking versus pious frauds. No, deliberate intent. Yes. So yeah, there is a difference there. And again, it's not everyone that's doing it. It's a small percentage that do it. But unfortunately, God, my voice cracked. I'm going through puberty again.
Take a drink, sweetie.
I know. I must be like, oh, I got to manly up. There we go. Deep voice.
You're going back and you're going back to youth and we're complaining about it. That's what we all want.
I know. I've been through that once. I'm good.
I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again either. Damn.
Yeah. So
Oof.
I think I said.
Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You good?
I hope that answers your question there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
What else? Oh shit, Bob. What are you gonna write a book for?
Effing Bob.
I love
Effing
it.
Bob.
Into it. It's like effing Bob. I used to know this, but what makes the green suits invisible to the camera? And how are the green suits different from blue suits? I'm remembering correctly, the blue suits are used sometimes right, and the dots that they use for animation. What do you? I remember there being a problem when they filmed the first Superman movie because his suit was blue, but in actuality, the suit was green, and they colored it blue.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Okay, so I used to know what makes the streets invisible to the camera. So when you're keying out things, you are requesting that the program you're working with take out the color that you are selecting. So in this, let's say green is not, or that chroma green is not a color that is regularly used in the world. Like it's not this color green. It's not whatever Kenny has in the background. Like it's not.
There's some things.
I was gonna say Slimer would be kind of invisible. Slimer's invisible. But you know what I mean? It's a specific color of green.
Oh no, he's hanging. Slimer's hanging.
No, Slimer. I think Slimer would be keyed out. It's like a Slimer green. It's like a Slimer green. So yeah, so it's a Slimer green. Yeah. That's it. That's I don't know. Maybe Slimer is a little bit brighter, but he's slimy. But the idea is that we're choosing a color that isn't normally found in or isn't commonly found in nature. Video is one of those really strange things where green is actually easier to pick up for a video camera versus film. Back in the day, blue was used for film because their technology back then made it easier to grab blues. Now it's a problem. Blue eyes, we wear a lot of blue. It's more naturally, found in our world. There's something, without getting into super deep things for video, there's something called the Bayer pattern. And that's a pattern where we use red, green, and blue on a 2x2 color filter, tiny little, I guess, pixel. And there are more green photo sites in that Bayer pattern than there are blue and red photo sites. So when you're using video and you're aiming at that green color, that chroma green, it's going to pick up those photo sites and omit that a lot better. Okay. You're kind of telling the image to create a transparency where anything is green, of that kind of green.
Yeah. Because you can do it. I mean, the software allows you to chroma key out any color.
Any color. Yeah. You're right. It could be red, purple, but green is typically the one that a lot of video go for because it chroma sites.
I only change it because
photo sites
I'm using images and I wanted the easy way to take out a solid color. Sometimes it's just chroma key it, boom, out.
That's it. Yep.
And yeah, so it works out. Cool. Blue suits, yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I saw Tim asked about like
And what
which
is with the
Reeves
dots?
or which Superman I was talking about, but I don't remember. I think it was Christopher Reeve where they had a problem because we went to the Superman Museum in Metropolis and they had
Oh wow.
one of his suits and it was green. It
Oh,
wasn't
wild.
this green. It wasn't this green. It was a duller
Whoa.
green
Mhm.
because they were they were filming against a blue screen,
Right.
so they couldn't have it.
Oh, and those little things you're talking about, Bob, those are motion trackers. So in a program like After Effects, a compositing program, you can ask the software to take a look at a certain point of motion, and it allows people or that software to hone in on the figure. It's like a point of clarity.
Right.
That, yeah, hope that answers. They got little balls on them sometimes.
They got
it's
balls.
they got little balls and
They
X's.
got
that
little
jump over them.
balls.
Little
I don't got
ping
big
pong balls.
balls.
Nope.
They got little balls.
Little guys.
All right. Oh my God, we got a lot of. We got to get through
Great, it's fast when I
so
said
many
that.
questions. Oh my
Holy
God.
Oh, am I gonna have to come back?
Did you
Do this again.
know paranormal experiences were first found in Roman writings in the 1st century?
I did not know.
They talked about ghost stories. They claimed to have witnessed chains rattling in haunted houses.
Love
to
it.
be honest, it actually goes back much further than that. It goes back to there is a Babylonian tablet that we have. We don't have it, but
I
there's
was
a
gonna say, you personally own this?
I wish. But I because I just a few months ago I wrote a chapter for a book that's coming out from my editor. But I went into the history of ghosts. But there is a Babylonian tablet that we're talking is well over 5,000 years old.
Oh, shoot.
And it talks about a spell to make a ghost go away, because in that culture, ghosts were part of everyday life. People, this is going to be a fun fact.
I
People,
love this.
when they died, family members were buried either in the floor or in the walls of the house. They weren't taken to cemeteries. They were
Wait, what?
buried right there. So if a ghost was said to come back, it wasn't a bad thing. It was a family member. They knew it. They lived with it. It wasn't unless the ghost started causing trouble that they would hire a what we would call an exorcism or exorcist that would perform a spell to get rid of the ghost to make it go on to the afterlife. So it does go back much further than Roman times. And I think what you're talking about more is the Pliny the Younger, which is a well-known story about Pliny that it's actually like a really cool story because the way he interacts with the ghost is more like, because the ghost shows up, it's got chains and it rattles it because Pliny has bought this house. Or actually, it wasn't Pliny. He was just retelling a story. But the gentleman bought the house knowing that it was haunted, was doing his work. The ghost showed up, rattled the chains, and the dude's like, yeah, hold on. I'm busy. And goes back to his work. And when he's finished, and he's like, okay, now you have my attention. And then they go and find out like the guy's bones are buried and stuff like that. And they fix it. So the unfinished business kind of reason. And when they rebury
That's
them,
where we get that from.
yeah, I mean that's one of the earliest, but it's not the earliest. It's one of the earliest.
That's bananas.
Very interesting story.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna keep working with
It's
that.
cool. It's a good story. Make sure you find the long version because it really is a cool story.
I just saw a comment right there, babe, that says it's from Steph. Derek will henceforth be known as the Shadow Dude.
Slowly closes the door.
This is the opportunity, Derek, to put like a robe on, put a costume on.
Oh no! Okay, Derek had the best idea. We're driving in the car, and I'm like, "What do we do for Halloween?" It's just been so nuts. And he goes, "I know. We got to get those onesie, like my green outfit.
Right.
But we got to make it black, and we're gonna go as shadow people and just stand in the corner all night at parties. Like in all the photos, we're just gonna slowly stand against the wall with our like faces." I was like, "Babe,
That'd be great.
Best low cost costume ever. It's the best couple's costume ever. 2 shadow people.
You blend together.
That's it. Shadow blob. And then I said you could wear a black hat, and then once in a while you'd be the Hat Man.
Ooh. I have a painting of the Hat Man.
Oh God.
I made a painting of the Hat Man.
You
Alright.
you painted a painting of the Hat Man?
There was. It's a long story, but yeah, I painted. I'll send you a picture of that too.
Kenny.
Jeffrey Funk. When forced to use green screen filter background and have green eyes, how to make eyes not disappear without wearing glasses?
Kenny, can I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can remember. Oh God, my cursor's going all
Present.
bazonkos. I got it right there. Present, share screen,
Screen.
and then entire screen, and then this screen, and I'm gonna share.
And then
Oh, look at that.
And we're gonna look at it. We're gonna see
Okay.
it.
Hi everyone. And
Yeah.
it's going into the wrong screen. 1 minute. No, it's fine. I'll get it. Okay. This is chroma green. It's probably the coolest, weirdest green you'll ever see. No one's eyes are this color, thankfully. Well, let's say, I mean, that's cool. That's your, actually, if they were, that would be really cool. But technically we use this green because it's not typically found in nature, including green eyes. When we're selecting the green tone to key out, when we're looking at our color and our light information, we're seeing just a really small range of the green spectrum being selected rather than the entirety. Like the green of my sweater would be omitted because it's not this eye-crushingly green. Like, look, I'm turning colors, just having it shine on me. So that's not a typical color for our purposes. So that's why we choose this green. If we chose like a nice sage green or like an aqua green, that would really screw up people's eyes. And that's a big reason why I personally love green screen and not blue screen. Blue screen can start messing with certain eye colors because I don't know, people have really beautiful deep blue eyes.
Yeah.
So, but they don't have this Slimer green for their eye color.
And that was the thing I learned by using this thing.
Right? Yes.
If you have light on here, but as soon as like I go like that, like the high points will disappear, but the shadow on here will show up.
That's right. Yep.
And it's a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass, and that's why the suits are the hardest. And I mean, what you're describing, the shadows are one thing, but you saw the color on another tell.
Right.
So I have it on another screen right now. You can see it on my hair here.
Right.
This is called spill. Spill suppression is using that magenta color and then telling and like maybe narrowing the field of green that's utilized on our color. Our color bars or our color wheels that we're reaching for lack of a better phrase. So I hope that answers that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're going, no more questions because I know Donna's going to be like,
Donna losing her mind. She's like,
yeah,
she knows we're going to hour 3.
No more questions. I'm not taking any more.
We get to play her song.
Oh, Derek gave me the wrong wine.
Oh, Derek, come back.
Derek,
Shadow Man.
I was drinking the Arizona stuff that's in the, anyways.
Here he comes.
There he is.
I love it. You grabbed the wrong bottle,
hey,
Derek.
Julia, you got a head in the background?
No, he's just happy to see me.
Oh, oh boy.
I love you. I had a man that fetched me wine. I shouldn't be complaining. It's fine, babe. Thanks so much. He's literally the best person in the whole world.
What has been one of the favorite projects of your? What has been one of your favorite projects you have worked on?
Oh boy. That's a big question. I think one of the wildest things I've done, I guess it was a program. Okay. It was for a company that everyone knows. I mean, you could find me anywhere. You could see where I worked, but it was one of these like huge tech companies. And I was doing a contract with them over the holidays during COVID. And they came to me and they said, hey, we need a keynote video We need you to do it by tomorrow. You have 48 hours to finish it.
No.
And we don't know what we're filming. So could you let us know what we're filming? So
They asked the editor, let us know what we're filming.
sometimes that happens. Okay, it was Apple. So I'm working with Apple. Apple did this to me. And I was like, cool, that's fine. So what I need are everything is sucked in the last few years. I need something that focuses on people. Let's write this whole thing out. Everyone got their bits together, sent me everything from all over the world. And within 2 days, I put together one of Apple's snappy keynote videos that's done for one of their major divisions. And that was this, I had to do it in the same style that Apple's known for, with the same cuteness, smartness, like standards. It was crazy to be a part of that. And I got feedback the next day, or the couple days later after it was aired. The director at the time said it was one of the best videos he's ever seen come out of the group.
That's awesome.
That everyone really loved. It was so scrappy and weird, and it worked out really well. And still to this day, I think you can see it on my reel somewhere. It's it's like a cute little, it's so cute. I think
That's awesome.
that was something big that I did. And then maybe something smaller was, I used to do these great social media videos for Wild Aid, and I got to tell this beautiful story about a sea turtle. I loved it so much.
That video.
I love them.
Because I wrote it down. I was writing down stuff that you did, and it was like the protection of the forest.
Mr. Friendly.
Sea turtle.
Mr. Friendly. Yeah, sea turtles, sharks. Those were great videos. I got to watch wildlife footage all day.
Right.
That's
Awesome.
I love the natural world.
I did see the technical repair. I did see
Technical repair. Oh
all
God,
that. That's what I wrote down.
old.
Technical repair.
Technical repair. I've done a lot of different types of videos. I think what's coming out right now in my world is more very targeted, focused documentary nonprofit, and seeing their fundraising do better. I'm excited for that part. Giving back's the wrong word, but like using your superpowers for good. Maybe something that you really love doing that's also,
Right.
I don't know, helps other people. There's something really good about that. So I'm just gonna ride that train down the tracks.
I think
We'll
one
see
of
what
the
happens.
reasons I love my job so much is that it gives me the opportunity to do that. Like I can spend
time.
time and pass on everything that I know or that I learn. I pass it on. That's the point. I learn about it and then put it together and then put it out there for other people to learn. So love it.
I love it too. And Cat Mac, the House Hippo got us all into editing. She asked a question about the House Hippo, so I wanted to ask her, reply to her about the House Hippo. No one knows what the House Hippo is, I guess. Okay.
No, I don't. Cat's meow. Why spend so much time trying to debunk people's beliefs in ghosts and not include religion? Both faith-based. Science can't explain everything. I'll let you go first since you're the guest. That's why.
Gee, thanks, Kenny.
I'm gonna be like, I don't know.
Question at me. Gosh, okay.
You don't have to, though. You don't have
I don't
to.
mind.
One of the things we don't touch, we usually stay away from politics and religion, but that's about it. But I do dive into it once in a while.
Well, the thing that I do is I like to take things that are asked like this with positive intent rather than attack intent. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think we're not include. I think the thing with religion is we're not including it. I think those things are intrinsic to your personal life and the way that you see the world. If a fraudulent video is fraudulent, that's not honoring the spiritual side of you at all. That's kind of what jumps to mind right now. A person's belief in ghosts might not feel like it has to do anything with faith, but it does extend into that realm, that category. So I don't think we're negating the idea of religion and what you consider what you put your.
Lost you. Oh no.
Oh, it's fine. I'm here.
Oh, there you go. That was the angels coming down and saying, "Don't talk about us."
No,
Close your dirty mouth.
Oh no, they're gonna smite me down. For example, I was raised Roman Catholic. I have that faith base in my history, and even though now there isn't that kind of spiritual adherence, observation. That's not to say that it's not important to you. I'm not personally, when I'm saying taking anything away from what you feel about your religion. We're just saying, or I'm just saying that some of these videos are fraudulent. I don't.
Yeah, and
Do you know what I mean, Kenny? I'm not.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I'm
take
I'm gonna
it
shut
as,
up now.
it's the videos, it's the intention, it's what's being presented. Like I mentioned, like I don't get into politics on this show at all, but I do get into conspiracy theories. So I have addressed the whole dogs and cats, they're eating them in the one place. I have addressed that. I have addressed the alleged Bluetooth earrings that someone was alleged to have worn during a debate. Not because it's political, but because they are conspiracy theories. And the evidence is overwhelming against them. So that's what I addressed. When it comes to religious stuff, like there is that kind of unspoken separation between religion and paranormal. People usually, there is a blending, there's overlap, but not a lot. But I have addressed like miracle videos. I've created weeping statues to show that it can be done, and explained how it was. I'm kidding. Donna's like, come on, move it on. So it's not that we're ignoring it. It's just if it's there and it is claiming an extraordinary event, I'm going to address it. I don't care where it's from. I'm going to address it. So there you go. All right, moving on.
Well,
Oh wait, it's
after 10.
It's hour 3. Oh, look at the sound. Donna's like, yeah. All right, I'm gonna play her song because it's hour 3, and we'll be back. She gets her own song. It's so great. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes from now.
In the skeptical help bar, there's a guiding star, keeping chats in line. She's the queen of the bar, with a wink and a smile. She keeps things flowing. Divine Donna's on the scene to keep you from trolling. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle every Friday night. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight. Start your questions with a capital Q, so Donna can pose them for you. Follow the Swayze rule and be nice, or she'll kick you out for life. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle every Friday night. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight. Rarely says a word, unlike her hubby. Doesn't let the show run into hour 3. She may be quiet, but she reads all the chats. So say hi, or thanks, she deserves that. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle every Friday night. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight. Rarely says a word, unlike her hubby. Doesn't let the show run into hour 3. She may be quiet, but she reads all the chats. So say hi, or thanks, she deserves that. Divine Donna, watch her keep the show on track. Moderates with flair, she's got your back. With her love, Kenny Biddle every Friday night. In the skeptical help bar, she's a delight.
bum. We're free.
Awesome. I love that. I love
Cat always pushes for that because she's the one that made the song.
I made that. Shut up.
Yeah, she made that. Yeah. It's awesome. I love it. All right. We're gonna shotgun some of these. So let's get it. I'm not gonna talk. How many books are on your bookshelf? Oh shit, that's for me.
A lot.
The last count was over 3,000. So that's all I can say.
Hey.
That's the most that I stopped after that. All right, next question. I gotta go quick.
I gotta go quick.
Yell at me. Kenneth. Whoa. Why are you using my formal name? Did you look into Admiral Byrd? I did not. The homework that I had for last week, I only address that on open mic nights. So when I have a guest, I devote the time to the guest. So I will be doing that not next week
or the
week after.
3 weeks
because,
from now.
Yeah, we're off for 2 weeks because we have conferences. So 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, I'll be addressing that. Creestorm, how do people edit multiple cameras all in different directions or different positions so that they all line up right to make the video?
Really fast answer. Every bit of software at a certain level has something called the multicam feature. And we kind of sit there like news anchor or news directors, and we do like camera, we'll play it live, and we'll do camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, camera 2. We also sync that up with something called timecode, which runs indelibly in kind of the background of every video that's ever recorded. So the timecode is what guides us, and then we direct where things go with the multicam feature.
Okay. For us amateurs.
That's what you do. You could do it. You can sync it up audio or timecode.
Yeah.
And you had me thinking of multicam. I'm thinking of multipass.
Multipass.
That's awesome.
Corbin Dallas.
Corbin Dallas multipass.
Michael says, is it okay to start off filming with just your cell phone when you're doing investigations, or would a digital camera be better?
I think what you have is like if you just want to start with your cell phone, for me, when I'm walking into any investigation, I'm thinking of coverage. I'm thinking of not just one cell phone. I'm thinking of 4 cell phones. I'm thinking of 3 cameras. I'm thinking of getting my hands on as many bits of things that help me create correlative evidence. So if we're having phenomena happening, is there additional evidence that can help correlate what people are reporting or what you are experiencing? So maybe don't think so much about just having a cell phone. Think about how many cameras you can fit into one room to make it all come together. But yeah, you can totally start with a cell phone. You can start with anything. You can start with a dash cam. You can start with the carrier pigeons, just as long as it works.
try to plug that in the USB.
Those pigeon cameras.
Yeah.
Good wine. We're at that part right now.
The wine is kicking in, baby.
Oh, boy.
Macy Rose, I love soundscapes. Where do you find your music? Is there a library you use, or is it all in your head?
I haven't started yet. That's something that was probably going to begin this weekend or next week. Soundscapes are some of my favorite. There's some wonderful ones on Spotify. So if you have any recommendations, Maisie, please post it in the chat and I'll write it down. When I have mine up, I'll let Kenny know and he can post it wherever to let people know. Or
cool.
Yeah, it's just something I'm embarking on. So it's a new process for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to use YouTube library, their music library, because a lot of that stuff is free. But then once in a while, like the original theme song I had for the show years ago, it suddenly became monetized and I couldn't use it anymore.
Whoa, what?
I got hit, not with copyright strike, but with a warning saying your song is now owned and it's copyrighted. So I can use it, but any money that's generated here, they get, which is bullshit. But I get it. So I'm actually going to look into some of this AI music generation because I want to
hit me up.
Yeah, I want to make my own shit.
Let's do it. It's hysterical what they come up with. I love AI music.
Cool. All right, here we go. Where can we view your work?
Okay. I know, I love this scrutiny. Okay, so my name, jvisentin.com. You can see my commercial work.
Put her banner back up, Kenny.
Oh, darn. I don't have.
Do we have a banner?
Do we have
put her name on it? Where'd the
No,
guest
the banner.
go?
Her name goes away when you put a comment up.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, see?
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
That's you.
Sorry.
So if you want to look at jvisentin.com, it's kind of being rehauled. The website's kind of crappy, but you'll see. And then there, I don't know what I've embarked on, Kenny, with the book thing.
Go ahead. Put it in. Why are you freaking out? Just put it in there.
Cares? Okay. So
first, I just put the link to your site in the chat.
Yeah.
So
jvisentin.com, just you can go look at my work. It's like I said, it's kind of in progress. I'm updating the site. So apologies for the scrappiness of it, but you'll get an overview of some of my work if you're interested.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
And then,
And then the TikTok, well, we'll talk about that later.
Oh.
What's the most difficult effect you can do on a laptop?
God, a triple flip. Have you ever tried to throw one of
I
the
have. Like, get it up there. And I get like
looks way fun. Jeez. That's just like God. Yeah, they're huge.
You're like,
that's a pretty good one.
then you hit the ceiling and you're like, oh.
The most difficult effect you can do on a laptop, I think, is totally defined by your CPU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really depends on the laptop.
Really depends on that. If you got a really good like a new Mac, sky's the limit. A lot of things you can do. You're involved with your own imagination, but there's pretty much everything out there in terms of templates. Like, it just boggles the mind how much is out there for you to use, explore, create. After Effects can run really well. It's a very beefy program. So I would say that if you're looking to run something heavy duty and really hone in on effects and at a prosumer level, something that has a massive amount of CPU and can run After Effects.
It is amazing. I use Filmora. So I use a lot of the effects that they offer. And it's just amazing. Sometimes I'm looking, I'm like, wow, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do that.
Explosions, we're all like, whoa, how'd they do that?
I know.
It's a whole library of explosions. It's like amazing. Bob's not wrong. But honestly, you're talking something Bob's talking about Mac versus PC, which we could argue we need a pub night for that. That's a discussion. Yeah. We need a pub night for that.
All right. Moving on. What else was that? Cat Mac. Do you think AI or CGI will seep into paranormal videos made by amateurs, not movies? I've seen this already.
It is.
I have seen, CGI I've seen plenty of times. The AI is creeping in because you have, I think it's called GhostTube, which is an app that you get. Yeah, I know.
I love how you were just going to mention what I was going to mention.
They have GhostTube is they had an app that like first it was the SLS camera. So the Xbox SLS camera, it mimicked that. Now they have a AI generating virtual reality. So you put it in the goggles and it generates images based on stuff you say or what's in the environment. So it's using that to create shit in front of you. It's so freaking stupid. But people buy it. I don't
imagine you're like a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah. You know, like I haven't tried it. The concept is just dumb. For what we're I'm not even. It's going to piss me off.
Okay, moving on.
I'm going to move on before I freak out. Brett Walker, hello. Would you agree that good editing never gets noticed, but bad editing stands out like a sore thumb? Yeah.
Yeah, like if it's hard, I think sometimes it's really hard for Derek to watch a movie, or maybe he finds it fascinating. I don't really know, but if I'm really engrossed in it and I'm not seeing the edit, that's my favorite thing. And if I'm noticing the edit too much, I get really removed. Sorry, I just burped.
It's okay. We're at a bar. Don't worry about it.
You know, it just takes me out of the story. Like I was watching, and then there's the rare movie that makes me watch it from like a nerd perspective. So I was watching Oppenheimer, and we did Barbenheimer. It was a whole thing, and oh god, that was so good. The editing in that.
I haven't seen it yet, but I watch
the editing.
a channel called the Corridor Crew that I watch because they do all these special effects and just the clips and listening to them talk about it. I want to see it, but I just haven't yet.
Jennifer Lame is one of, like, I look up to her. She's my age. I look up to her so much. She did Tenet as well. So there's a sensibility to it that I love fast cut. I'm really into fast cut piece editing, and she just blew my mind. It's such a good, cool. Well put. Totally. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else we got? Tara, Kenny, do you have a high IQ?
How do we know IQs? I've always wondered, like.
Yeah, let's all get tested.
I've never
Let's
been
all get
tested.
tested.
I was not a smart kid. I'm still not smart. I think that
Excuse me.
I know that I'm not smart, but I read a lot to compensate. So I read a lot. I learn a lot. I will sit here for hours and not move because I want to learn. And if I don't understand something, it bothers me. And I will keep reading and understanding and going over and over again until I figure it out. So obsessive compulsive disorder, maybe. But I don't think I have a high IQ. Shh.
Hey.
Why do we continue to call film video? Why do we call film video?
I don't know. Well, some of it is.
I'm like Xerox.
I don't know. It's interchangeable. It's just part of it. It always ends up in a digital format in the end. Right. They always scan it. It always ends up,
because we still hear people call, I caught that on tape.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Still hear it. And
this isn't tape.
It's not tape. Most people don't use tape.
Really tiny tape.
Magnetic tape.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's different from film. So it's not, it's that expression is there. And I think, because I remember growing up and saying, did you get that on film?
Yeah.
Like that was because that was the popular media.
Yeah.
And then we went to tape, VHS tape, beta tape. And now we've gone into video. So now everything, it's a generic term now for everything that's filmed. Because even that's a verb to me. Filmed. We filmed some footage. I don't say we videoed some footage. Like that doesn't sound good to me. And even footage, I mean, that's still a film term.
It is video.
Yeah, we took it to video. There is no footage. it's like by the foot.
Like sensors. Like there's a comment, Shauna, shouldn't that be video film? Shauna? Video film. I like video. I'm gonna call it video film.
Video. I mean,
video film.
Film is film. Like where did I have it? I had it. I don't know. I did have it.
I want you to do a video about what's in your drawers.
He's got so much crap.
It's a little personal. What's in my drawers is up to me, and not on display.
Go there. Oh my god. This hour three.
Derek.
Derek.
Getting weird.
Derek.
No.
It's getting weird.
No, there's stuff. There's stuff all over the place.
There is.
There is stuff. Yeah, there's drawers where it's just all over the place. There he is. We're gonna talk about my drawers. All right, we're down to the.
We gotta hang out with you guys down in Buffalo. You're not far.
Porter Kenny rummaging through. Oh, what was that? Around his drawers looking for film. It's weird. I rearranged some stuff, but I do. Oh, so like, I got it right here on my light desk. So
which is lit
now. Yeah. So I have film. This is photographic film.
Of what?
They are just negatives of. I don't even know what this is.
My eyeballs get close
It's a
enough.
party.
Karen.
Oh, it looks like a party.
Um,
It's not mine. I actually go to flea markets, and when I see people sell like boxes of old negatives, and I
They
pick them up because I like the different film sizes. So yeah, that's film. This is film, real film. It's film.
I remember that. I'm not that old, not that young.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I hate 8mm film. My light
Can you-
keeps blinking.
You know about the Internet Archive? Does anyone know about the
Yes.
Internet Archive?
The
Do you know
Wayback
about
Machine?
the Prelinger Archive with all the old, really
Oh,
fantastic,
yeah.
old ass
The
duck
real-
and cover movies from?
Yeah.
That's here. So if you ever come to San Francisco, Internet Archive is just right over
Oh,
through
yeah.
10 minutes. They have
We'll
screens.
plan a trip. We'll come out and we'll just see all this shit, and
You hang
we'll,
out with Lloyd. You hang out
we'll
with-
hang out with Lloyd. We'll debunk some shit, and we'll piss off some ghost hunters.
I don't know.
It'll
I
be
can't
fun.
choose
It'll be a gas. All right, Peter. Hey, what's up, Pete?
Hi, Peter.
As it pertains to the paranormal, have you found that there are people adding AI into ghost hunting videos to
No.
embellish potential findings?
That's something that I have not seen yet.
I haven't seen it yet either.
What they could be doing, I don't know if anyone uses ChatGPT for anything
I do.
major. I do sometimes as well to clean up my writing dyslexia. So one of the things that we can do with ChatGPT is ask it prompts to give us story structure or create a film or a video film script. So you could actually say to ChatGPT, can you give me 5 currently trending social media storylines for me to film my next paranormal entertainment video? And it'll spit out an entire script for you. You say this, action is this. You do this, shot is that. It's pretty amazing, and it does it in like 10 seconds. So that could be an application of where people are using things to try to get ideas or to riff off of their own ideas with a really well-crafted prompt.
Right.
I've not yet seen, and maybe they're using B-roll. I don't know. I've not yet seen anything glaringly obvious.
Right. Yeah, nothing stood out. It's mostly been just generated images, not AI, but CGI type images that are inserted.
And even those things too, Kenny, like when we're looking at there are some beautiful AI videos that are being made right now. They're really labor intensive to create. They're not as simple as putting in a prompt and having it spit out a moving image because they're not really there yet. Using like Mid-Journey to storyboard and then using like other apps to create slightly slowly moving images of people's heads turning. We're still in that part of it's in its infancy somewhat right now. So, but give it time, that could happen.
Yeah.
In which case, Kenny's going to have a lot more material to fly with for the next little bit. We'll have to noodle on that one.
Okay.
Good question. Really good question.
I like that. All right. Cool. Wow, almost there. Like 3 more to go. Which current editing app has the easiest learning curve for beginners?
Gosh. First is learning the structure. I think the easiest might be something like an iMovie or maybe even a Filmora or a CapCut. Those 3 have really good structure. Once you learn one NLE, one nonlinear editing program, you kind of understand some of the fundamentals that apply to all of them. So start with an iMovie, Filmora, CapCut. Do some tutorials online. There's so many good people that are creating these like guided how-to moments for everybody. So check them out.
I started with Windows Movie Maker.
When that was a thing.
Yeah. But it worked.
Right?
And one of the best stories I like to tell is when I first learned how to do what I call an overlay, to one video on top of another to make it come through.
That's right.
I looked up a YouTube video, and I swear the kid was like 8 years old.
Right.
Because you hear this voice going, okay, you want to take the one piece of video.
I remember listening to that.
And I'm going, I can't believe that this little kid is teaching me how to, but I'm learning. I'm doing it. And I made myself, it was great, but you can learn. And same, like I mentioned, I use Femora, and I had no idea how to use it. Just jumped in, started doing it. But same thing. I looked on YouTube, found several channels that just do nothing but that. And I was like, all right, let's go. Let's show me what to do. And sat here for days and days and figured it out. So
no, it's big. What we can't replace is human creativity. I feel like AI will take care of some of the mundane tasks with this, but it can't really capture lightning in a bottle like our minds can. So don't worry.
I agree. Yes. All right. What was there? Get forward. How do mocap suits work?
Mocap. Those are the ones that have the little balls.
Yeah. Balls, yeah.
So when we're putting marks and balls on stuff, putting that stuff on
in your drawers,
in the drawers. We're basically, I'm trying to explain this through a laugh so you're not here for 5 hours. We're basically giving a focus point for the software to look at. So when you're doing those points, we're lining them up with the software to say, this is the action movement. And it makes it really crispy and easy for the software to really hone in on that object that's moving around or doing its thing like this. Wow, my head didn't move when I did that. God.
That was pretty cool.
It was weird. Yeah, it's a motion tracking. It's a motion tracking.
Yeah. And if I'm correct, there's at least 3 cameras that are up that are all tracking each of those balls or dots in space. So that you can get that 3-dimensional look.
Yeah. I just also Googled it I was like, was it motion tracking suit? Was it not? Yeah, it's motion tracking suit. Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that,
Oh, I do the same thing. Sometimes I'm like, I know that word, but I'm not sure. Let me look it up just to make sure because I want to.
Motion suits. I've used them like 4 times. It's not a common thing for me in my line.
Okay.
It's a pretty good specialty though if you get into it.
Kenny, did you get the Bigfoot joke I emailed you? I did not.
What Bigfoot? I want to know the Bigfoot joke.
Right?
Wait, now I gotta look. I
want to know this.
I gotta figure out why my light's blinking. My light's like flickering over there.
Do you think actors become obsolete?
Well, what's that?
There's a question about actors becoming obsolete. I thought while you're looking for the joke.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Joke priority.
So
no, I don't think actors will become obsolete. Actors will still.
When did you send it, Mike? And I'll look. I don't think actors will become. No, not at all. I mean, we had cartoons, animation. We have nice computer generated animation now.
Deep fake.
But
who wants deep? Like, do we want deep fake? Like, is that the demand from the?
No.
So actors will be fine.
I don't think it'll ever be the same. I think those kind will, at least for the foreseeable future, still have that uncanny valley feel to them.
Yeah,
we're gonna know something is off.
Oh yes, and I think. Speaking of that, Kenny, quickly, that's one of the best ways to tell if a bit of footage is frauded. Is the uncanny valley, that weird feeling that you get that this is not quite real.
Yeah,
your instinct. That's a big.
You
one.
Almost get that. Like, is this a game? Is this a video game cutscene that I'm watching?
That's right. Yeah.
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 Something's just not right.
No,
they look funny.
Wrong. That is.
Where you see a face and you're like, that
nope.
looks like them, but what's wrong with their face? I say that a lot, but it's actually about real people.
Yeah.
I'm looking, I'm like, what's wrong with their face?
Just their face. Oh,
Their eyes are like too far apart. What's wrong with that's an ugly nose. What's wrong with that? Is that real?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody
and they're beautiful. Everyone's beautiful.
I know. All right. We're done questions?
Yes, we're done. No more questions.
We made it. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Woo-hoo.
Oh my goodness. All right. So
we made it.
So to wrap up, to start wrapping up, where can people find you? We put your website on the chat. So if people want to contact you or get in touch with you or see some of your other stuff, what's your like socials and stuff like that?
Oh, my socials. So I'm not on a ton of socials. I just have like very personal things on my Instagram.
Okay.
But I started doing this really dumb idea. I'm not sure if anyone's going to care.
It's
They
not
might.
dumb. Stop saying it's dumb.
Okay, fine. I have imposter syndrome. Gosh. Okay. So okay. So because of the Rhine Institute, I'm reading a lot of factual or historically based studies, books, compendiums of actual psi and paranormal phenomena related stuff. And I thought it might be fun to try to share it. A lot of people don't know these titles. A lot of people don't know where to go to look for things like this. So I started what I'm calling the Paranormal Book Club. You can either follow along with me with what I'm reading, keep track of the titles, read them on your own time, or read them with me. The ultimate dream is to have a book club meeting once a month live. We talk about these books, these theories, these concepts that it's supposing. Some of them are journal entries, some from things from the Parapsychological Association. Some are, right now, we are reading Mind Matter Interaction by Pamela Ray Heath. This is a book about, it's a compendium of studies from all over the world. They're all looking at the idea of mind matter interaction, telekinesis. There's a whole bunch of, I love what she reads, oh God, I'm tired right now. I love how she does this because she presents the phenomena and then the things against it and the things for it. And it's a really balanced way of looking at research and theory and history. So if you're into that, you can come join me on TikTok. Kenny, I texted you my TikTok.
Okay.
I don't know. It's Julia. It's at Julia _ the _ editor _ Julia the editor.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
If anyone wants to follow along, they can. I'm just going to be there. That's my little niche of the. I'm very nervous to talk about it because it's very.
Stop being so nervous. You don't need to be nervous. I bet you're going to have.
These are your people.
These are your kind of people that are into it.
I love it. Well, that's where you can find some of the research I'm reading and some of the nerdy para stuff that I'm into. If you want to join along, let's
Nerd.
together.
Nerd.
I'm also a really slow reader. So.
Oh my God. I can relate. I'm a slow reader because I will sit there with my phone and the book because most of the books that I read now are above me. So I have to look up the big words. So I understand what I'm reading. And then I'll go back once I read the meaning, then I go back and I'm like, oh, all right. That's what this meant. Okay, good. Good.
It's crazy. There's a lot of words like hemology. I didn't know what that is. I didn't know what luminosity was. Like the book discusses all this crazy stuff that I've never even heard of. And
that's good.
Fascinating.
You learn more. You never stop learning.
That's it.
Never. Are you Canadian?
Very Canadian. Extremely Canadian. I'm from Toronto. Did the invite come out? Is that what you're hearing? Yeah.
Oh, let's see. They sent me this. Yeah. Hold on. Let me open it so that I can share it for everyone, so that everyone can see it.
Of course, it's okay to repeat it. It's totally fine.
There you go. Hey, it was all this internet. This whole Bigfoot thing would turn out to be a hoax.
Oh my gosh.
Like how Elvis is in there. Really good Halloween costume is Elvis inside of a Bigfoot costume.
Bigfoot.
With an alien on top.
Is it weird that looks like a Wookiee?
It does. I thought the same thing. I was like, this looks like a Chewbacca.
Is Chewie Bigfoot? No.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think
absolutely.
so.
Absolutely.
So what was Jabba?
Ugly. All right, let's wrap it up. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and then when I play the outro music, don't hang up. Stay, because afterwards we can chat before you go. But everyone else, have a great great weekend. We are off the next 2 weeks because next week we leave for Vegas. We'll be in Vegas for a week, and we're doing PsyCon. And then the following week, we're going to be in Jersey for the Para Unity Expo, because we're going to set up booths for that. We're going to be there having fun. And then we'll be back. Well, actually, I think we come home. What am I doing? Like, I think I'm driving out to Tennessee or something. I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to someplace with Joe freaking Vitale. I can't tell you where because it's a secret. But, so yeah, we do the expo is the second weekend or the first weekend in November. And then it's like the week and a half later, I'll be driving out to this investigation place. We're going to investigate a haunted house. It's probably not going to be haunted. No place has ghosts when I show up. They all leave. I don't know why. But all right. So with that, that's everything. Everyone have a great weekend, and be safe and have fun. And remember to never stop learning. And we will see you in 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Bye.
Hey, diddle diddle, here's a little riddle. Who's the best at bunker? Is it Kenny Biddle? Oh, he's good, not just a little. Not at the bottom or even the middle. Strike a chord like a fiddle. Tasting the rainbow like a skittle. That's fragile and brittle. You can watch him take a problem and start to riddle the problem away. He does not play. He takes his job so seriously. He loves a challenge and won't turn you away. It's such a skeptic, he keeps those believers exposing the fake. It wouldn't take him long to find a needle in hay. Use a magnet, damn it. Now take a drink of Kenny's specialty. Someone may say that's not for me. To each their own, what will be, will be. Man, Kenny's such a skeptic, drinking skeptical tea. Like and subscribe, everybody turn notifications on. And go watch his show and forget about this song. Mr. Wizard or Bill Nye the Science Guy. Can you remember? You like Kenny better, so head to the Skeptical Help Bar and meet the bartender. Pick up a drink and relax, cause nobody does this better. Not even close, not even a little. He's the one and only Kenny Biddle.